Richmond.
Saturday afternoon football match of the day at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. It's Richmond and the West Coast Eagles, and we are underway. Noble in the ruck against Cox. Cox got the tap. Inside 50 for the first time. Off the hands of the contest. The bouncing ball favoured by Embley. Hurried kick inside 50. It's a wide open forward line for West Coast. Coming through is Ray Hall. Did it well with poise. Handball over the top to Bowden. The Tiger Army roaring early. Tuck at half back. Run down. Got the kick away. Towards half forward, there's a free kick. Pushing the back, it's going the way of West Coast. Richmond need a good start. They've trailed at quarter time 5 of the last 6 weeks. They can't afford to spot the West Coast Eagles a head start this afternoon. Here's Selwood at centre half back. Has a loose man in the middle of the ground. Nikoski. 2 goals last week. Goes towards the 50. Big pack of players getting back is Callaway. Fist to the line. Here comes Judd. The Dynamite Kid keeps it alive only momentarily. We'll have a throw in 15 metres around from the West Coast goal.
Another match-up. You're looking at Adam Hunter against Troy Simmons, giving away a little bit of height there, but Hunter very quick off the mark, and he will continue to play in front of Simmons, and he's got to be careful not to continually getting in his back. The rebound there will hurt Richmond.
Throw in, dangerous position. Cox and Noble down to Tuck. He's a clearance machine. Kick off the side of the boot. A one-on-one contest. Hyde and Braun at the forward 50 for West Coast. Hyde puts some pressure on. Chance here for Edwards, the first gamer, goes to the top of the square. Coughlin stood tall, couldn't reel it in. Dangerous position here for Richmond. Here's Judd, swoops, snaps, and goals! West Coast on the board.
Well, the value of the big unit, Quinton Lynch just jumps in there. Huge tackle from the big man. Just made that football free. And if there's an opportunity, any opportunity at all, Chris Judd will take it. It was an easy goal.
Been a bit quiet the last couple of weeks by his own lofty standards, just 7 and 14 possessions, but he's into the game early, KB, and that's always a dangerous sign.
Yes, he's a star, no doubt about that, Chris Judd. And Coughlin is playing on Chris Judd, back after that week's suspension. It's nice to see the young boy Edwards also kick the ball in, playing his first game for West Coast as well. Here's Tuck out of the centre square. He's been a ball-winning machine. Covers the pack. Here's a chance for Glass. Might be happy to run it through from behind. Take no prisoners.
Tigers fans not too happy, thinking there was a hold there. Jones is certainly making sure his opposition player was going nowhere there in Hilton.
Jones brings the ball back into play, goes short to Banfield, who's got the job of picking up Cracker. Looking for Fletcher. And the All-Australian on the stretch takes the grab in front of Pettifer. All the on-ball stars today. Fletcher, Judd, Kerr, Cousins, Embley. Speak of the devil, he's got it across half-back. Last time we saw him here against Collingwood, he struggled, but we know he's a good player. There was a push-out that time from Hunter. It was on Callaway, a push-out in the back from Nikoski with great hands. Just swoops on the ball and hammers the ball back inside 50. Standing his ground was up high. That was Edwards. He'll take the free kick. Bowden looks on in disgust, but it was high. Young man, 45, playing his first game, being held over the shoulder. Good decision.
I think you can argue that one, KB. Edwards has been very, very good in the WAFL. Been playing for Swan Districts. Battled away for 3 years for his chance here.
Young man off the rookie list at the MCG. He'll remember that. Straight through the centre.
The rookie list at the end of 2002, Aaron Edwards booted 57 goals in the TAC Cup that year as a hard-leading forward. Played 13 games for Swan Districts in 03, 21 last year. Predominantly at centre-half back, a little bit of time also at centre-half forward. Willow was cut off the rookie list. He can only be there for 2 years. At the end of last season, redrafted back on and now been elevated for Beau Waters.
He's got a smaller squad now, so you've got an opportunity to play a game of football here. This kid's nice size for a half-forward flanker.
Well, the Eagles have got another flyer at the MCG. We saw this against Collingwood a couple of weeks ago. The Pies eventually pegged them back. Can Richmond do the same? Noble got the tap. It went straight to Cox. Clever backhander from Braun. Selwood under pressure. Run down by Cracker. Ball spills to Hyde. He's taken down by Nikoski. Coughlin. Banfield. Selwood. It's hot early. Handball to Cox. Now at the back door to Embley. Has some time to steady up. Goes to the wing. He's got Michael Broad in space. Can look up. Can go down the line. Decides to run with the football instead. And spears deep inside 50. Edwards in position. He's got it again. Just had to sit on Bowden.
I was talking to Ian Miller before the game. Selector, of course, and also for the Waffle team to play up in Queensland. He said, this kid can mark.
Well, he just had to sit. He had a couple of steps off Joel Bowden. Was smart enough to not initiate body contact. Hung back. Timed it beautifully.
184 centimetres, so he's over 6 foot, KB. He doesn't look...
6'1".
Yeah, it's going beautifully.
So this for a green start.
And he's a monster kick too.
Let's have a look at Aaron Edwards. Tries to work it back, but misses to the narrow side. West Coast looking very good early. 17 possessions to 6. They are controlling the football at this point in time. 5 inside 50s to 1. The Tigers just need to settle.
The Tigers have really got to start looking after Michael Braun too, because he is the one that will continue to penetrate inside the forward 50 for West Coast.
Long kick in from Newman to centre wing. Cox at the back of the contest. Can link up with Cousins and does. Receives a Shepherd. He's got some time on the wing to use it properly and does beautifully. It was a lovely kick, and here he is again, Aaron Edwards, lighting up the MCG in the opening turn. Kick inside 50, looking for the big unit, Lynch. Matera's hands were slipped to Nikoski. He bends it back across the body. Richmond have got numbers back. Coughlin lunges, does enough, controls the football. And now has a chance to repel for the Tigers.
Comes away from half-back, gives it across to Hyde. Likes to run with the ball. Been brave to come back after that heavy knock. Here's a chance for Newman. Back edge of the centre square, tries to spear the ball in. Banfield got a hand to it. Leeds track into the ball. A wily old head for Cousins, the champ. Comes away from half-back. Beautiful kick. Hits the target. Edwards. 5th touch, KB. Running his stuff at the MCG. Finds Hunter. He's on centre wing. 2-1-13. The Eagles, the Tigers, just one behind. And Staker, just on the stretch, still inside the centre square, gets called to play onto Nikoski, who was very good last week against Port Adelaide. To Judd, who bounces to his feet. The untouchable. Judd comes away and finds Hansen at centre half forward, and he'll shoot from right on 50.
They're a bit shell-shocked at the moment, the Tigers, below the structure just not working for them.
Yeah, they'll warm into it. Again, we saw this with Collingwood 2 weeks ago. They came out West Coast. They do start very well. Just got to keep on working away. Adam Hunter being a danger man as well, playing on Troy Simmons. He is going to be the go-to. He'll run off time and time again. He was involved in setting this opportunity up for the star-studded midfield of West Coast, who then just took their time, Judd. Wasn't he just silky smooth how he took his time, found Hansen all alone.
Hansen's booted 16 goals for the season. He's a long kick. Hits the post.
Aaron Edwards starts off this game beautifully. 5 touches. The game's only been going about 10 minutes. What a lovely start.
So the Tigers have got some work in front against the best team in the competition. Here's Staker, just gliding onto the ball. Just needs a kind bounce and gets it. Squeezed up on the boundary line. Rockets the ball back across to Embley. The run is coming from Judd. Back to Staker. Just sidetracks and steps around Coughlin. Hammers the ball in. The Mighty Mouse has got it. Bill Matera.
Too far out for the little fella.
Beautiful kick. And finds that man Edwards. We could be looking at a star, Peter.
It's a very easy game, AFL football, Kevin, isn't it? Really, you can just come out, the MCG, big stand, plenty of people around, national television. Oh, it's just too easy. Aaron Edwards. How long's this been going on?
Well, this young man has made a remarkable start in his first game. He's going for goal number 2. And Edwards, can he squeeze it in? He can't. Let's go down to Glenn Manton.
Well, from the ground level, guys, I can certainly tell you there is a certain level of disrespect being shown to Aaron Edwards, and you'd think 10 minutes into the game they better lift their level of intensity when you're playing this young fella, because he certainly can play.
They didn't know his name 10 minutes ago. They'll be reaching for the footy records right now, I can tell you. Richmond just looked flat. Ball with Callaway at half-back. To the wing. Bowden. Inboard to Hyde. Richmond just need to get some meaningful possession strung together. Now Newman, they look to switch play and create something with some space to Chaffee. He runs through centre wing, southern side of the ground. Couple of bounces inside 50. Hilton in best position. Good fist from Jones. Got it to Fletcher. Now to Cousins. Across the body. Pressure comes late. Good effort from Ray Hall. Closed in on Hanson. Fisted it to the line. And we will have a throw in.
We talk about work rate. The centre-half forwards coming down and giving themselves opportunities at the centre-half back position. That's just fantastic from Hanson.
Contested possessions you saw there, 13-3, telling the story. They're just winning it at the moment. Here's Judd again. Braun. Richmond cannot get hands on the football. Chick. Short. Fletcher wanted to play on at all costs. It was too costly. Bursting through though was Cousins. It's going West Coast way at the moment. They are red hot. Cousins down the line. Here's Edwards. Got a nudge from Bowden and we'll get another free kick. 7 possessions now for Edwards in 10 minutes. What a start. Just called back. Umpire's called time off.
Well, Joel Bowden is known really as a sweeper and as a half-back flanker. Doesn't play too close, but as Glenn Mann said, he really does need to start.
Noble stood tall. Matera off the pack. Cox. Handball to Chick, trying to get around into open space. He does so, Daniel Chick. Runs to 25 and bangs it home. West Coast have got 3. They are just winning the contested balls time and again, Willow. The possession count now up to an astonishing 48-20.
Well, Matera does this beautifully, reads it off. Daniel Chick has been fantastic on rebound from half-back flank. He's been kicking goals week in, week out. Just to Chris Judd there, held possession. Waited for a tackle, didn't come, opportunity, easy goal.
Let's go down to Glenn Madden.
Interesting to see Mark Graham come off the bench now and go straight to Aaron Edwards. You can imagine that he'll be shutting him down from this point forward.
Eagles by 20 points, 3-3-21. Here's Kerr streaming out of that centre square, looking for Lynch, backing back. That was brave play that time by Graham. Pounced on by Matera. Rockets the ball back to Hanson, who dances on a dollar. Looks for support. Gets it from Braun. Outside of 50, goes short. The kick's a poor one. Bowden's having a tough first quarter. Somehow, Kerr finishes with the ball. And from point-blank range, he's thrown the ball. He just shoveled the ball out. And the free kick is coming back and going to the Tigers.
Just didn't get rid of it. Nikoski quick enough there. Bowden just had him in the tackle, swung him around a couple of times. Umpires just deemed that he could have got rid of it a little earlier. Holding the ball, fair enough too.
Umpire McBurney just explaining to Nikoski as Bowden goes short and wide. Finds Tivendale to the centre square. Callaway. Richardson's going to be the target. Here comes Richo. Glasses with him. Not good enough. Too big. He's outside of 50. As Bowden takes a breather. And Delidio is back on. Matthew Richardson to lift the spirit of the Tigers. Big kick. Distance is there. Not the accuracy. And through for a behind. The first meaningful foray forward in 13 minutes. Minor score to Matthew Richardson. Jones. Goes short to the back pocket. Banfield. Banfield chips across the face of goal. Finds Selwood.
They were on their kick in, West Coast, very dominant on this side of the ground. That's where they lined up.
Numbers here for the Tigers though. Hunter did well. He had 3 to beat and did so. Handball too big for Braun, but Embley there to back it up. Fends off Pettifer. Goes for a run to the middle of the ground. The time and space at the moment for West Coast is extraordinary. Their use of the football sublime, although Fletcher couldn't hang on that occasion. Chaffee. Here's a chance for the Tigers. They've got numbers forward to the footy. Codlin to Richardson. Couldn't hang on. Here's Cracker. Still with numbers, Richmond. Simmons across the body, off the kick. Picked off by Chick. Can float it over the top, and West Coast can set up again from their own defensive 50. Selwood. Short. Hyde arrives late. Braun gets the mark.
Gee, there was a wasted opportunity there for the Tigers then, Peter.
Well, Richo just needs the opportunity. The thing about him too, KB, is that if he can get early goals, he's always on top.
They're finding space everywhere at the moment, West Coast. Hunter down the line, and here's Edwards again, leading stat getter on the ground with possession number 8, including 5 marks. Pretty handy first 15 minutes of your footy career. Edwards long inside 50. Off the hands of the contest. Kerr, open goal, bang, another one. Eagles have got the opening 4. Points the margin after 15 minutes. Possession 63-29. Inside 50s 11-4. Whatever way you look at it, it's a smacking at the moment.
Yeah, just some really great assistance here. Matera whacks on a beautiful shepherd. Kerr just knows where it is. But Hansen again. Hansen the one that just gives the opportunity. He contested the football. The ball came and there it was. Little man's opportunity. One protects, one collects, one kicks the goal.
This is going to test the resolve of the Tigers. 4-3, the West Coast Eagles. The Tigers just 2 behinds. Noble wins the tap out, taken away by Tuck. Pumps the ball inside 50. Glass, who's been a terrific fullback this year, Peter. He's done a great job.
Just doesn't give you any room at all. He just sticks to it. He's an old-fashioned fullback. He just comes out of the same mould as guys like Michael Brennan. Just loves to keep it close and give it Richo any chance, and he's going to catch you up. I don't think Glass is going to do that today.
Cox works his way to the front. Looking for Judd, wrapped up in the tackle this time by Coughlin. Drags down the Brownlow medalist.
It's amazing, Judd, how he's just so strong in those tackles, KB. He just will not go to ground, won't give up, just hoping they'll fall off him every time.
He's got the ability to roll the shoulders, a bit like Robert Harvey, always very difficult to tackle and bring down. Now the whistle has gone, it's a free kick to the Tigers. And Noble will take the free kick, and he'll be just outside of 50.
Yeah, Big Dean Cox just getting his hand across the high tackle, giving Noble opportunity. He really should be having to go at goals here, surely.
Well, he's kicked 3 goals for the season. He should be just on kicking distance. He puts it to the front of the square. Richardson's going to be the target. He's got 2 to beat. Banfield in front. Quick snap from Tuck. He is off target. It was inventive. Shane Tuck. Pretty quiet. The margin now 24 points. Jones. Awful looking kick up the middle of the ground. Wasn't very awkward off the boot. And Tuck's got it again. Richmond have got the zone now. He needs to move it quickly. West Coast getting numbers back. He's called to play on. Hassler's banging on the boot to the top of the square. 4-on-1 in favour of West Coast. Off the hands of the pack. Goal to the Tigers. Coughlin read it. All up and no down for West Coast. Just a little bit of lack of talk there. They all attacked the football. Coughlin hung back. And the Tigers are on the board. They desperately needed that one.
They're trying to take the mark. They're too sure if that was the way to go. Really should have been going for the line. Punch across. Plenty of numbers there.
Good contest from Rory Hilton.
Yeah, got in there, Hilton. Coughlin, perfect timing. Really come to bat by an ordinary kick from Jones. Straight down the middle. Instant turnover. Straight to Tuck.
First goal on the board to Coughlin for the Tigers. I think the Eagles just seemed to be a lack of talk. They had the numbers 4 against 1. Here's Cousins, beaten this time by Pettifer, but not the second effort. Cousins, the general, the playmaker, rockets the ball wide. He's looking for Nikoski. Does well, bounces to his feet. The tackle was there as well, taken away by Kerr. Just tumbles the ball forward across half back. Bowden. He's already been benched in this first quarter. That kick's a poor one. He's looking for Richardson. Needs a kind bounce. Gets an ugly one. Chick gets back. Defence working very hard. That kick's a poor one. And Delidio from outside 50 can find Hilton. And the young man on the comeback side,
Tigers everywhere,
has gone short and finds Tivendale.
A bit better the last couple of minutes. Richmond, the tide just starting to turn. At least they're getting their hands on the footy.
just starting to run now, guys. They're backing themselves. They've got possession and starting to run down. And they know how to play this ground. If you saw that, we've got 3 Tigers just running through the middle of the ground. Square it up every time. It was just a simple set play. Square the football. Multiple choices.
Tivendale is a very good kick from 47 metres. He doesn't like it, and that's a bad miss. I just wonder so far, Peter, whether it's just been the turnovers, a couple of bad possessions by the Eagles, which has given the Tigers a chance. They've got to grab those opportunities, and that was one occasion, and they weren't able to pull it off.
And the Tigers are getting them, though, KB. They're putting the pressure on. They're getting up close to their opposition, giving themselves chances to get the football.
Just waxing at the moment between Jones and Banfield. Getting to the act is Fletcher. Goes wide. That's a beautiful kick. Hunter can just stroll onto the ball. It's across half back. Seavey ran hard and takes the grab. He's on centre wing. 4-3 the Eagles, 1-4 the Tigers. 27 plays 10. Seavey. Too much carry on the ball that time for Nikoski. Taken away by Johnson, so the skipper for the Tigers. Now it opens up. Some loose players, and Cracker somehow lost sight of the ball. Banfield wrapped up in the tackle by Cracker. Now he's been pinged. Umpire McBurney's called advantage, and it lands on the chest of Richardson.
The Tigers just forced that turnover once again because Seavey had nowhere to go. He looked inside, all the options were taking up. Tigers back in numbers inside their forward, the West Coast forward 50. They went square, ordinary turnovers. So the Tigers are putting the pressure on, they're causing the turnovers, giving themselves opportunities. Richo now just needs to finish off.
He's kicked 28 goals for the season. One behind so far in this game. Matthew Richardson likes it. So do the fans.
Cracker, great tackle here. Banfield took the football, had no other option. Nowhere to go with the football. Surrounded by Tigers. A good pressure turnover. And when he leads like that, Richo, and you've got a guy like Chaffee, all good stuff. Tigers now really back in the game.
Well, so far a striking similarity to the last time West Coast were here. They kicked the first 4 against Collingwood, but we're only 2 goals in front by quarter time as the Pies pegged them back. Richmond doing the same at the moment. Margin 11 points. Braun, handball to Kerr. Kerr pokes it down the line. Butler goes back with a flight, takes the mark in front of Bowden. He's 75 from home, Sam Butler. He's certain of his options, called to move it on. Will bomb it high, they'll contest 20 metres out from goal. Big pack of players, good standing tall mark from Brett Valetti at the front of the contest.
He was the one too, he was just taking up the zone there. He had his football, he had his eye on the football, that was going to him all the way.
Richmond have found their run. They're prepared to work for each other. They weren't in the first 15 minutes, they were stagnant. Now they're pushing forward to the ball, we're seeing it here. Campbell, handball back to Doletio. Forward to the wing now, goes to the pocket. Hilton the target, flew high, couldn't hang on. Landed awkwardly, gets up okay. Gaspar kept it alive, wasn't a percentage play in the end, and Jones will pick it off. They go up the southern stand side, now to Nikoski, it's defensive 50. He can chip down the line, Judd's got to stand and wait, and does. Despite the late attention from Bowden,
Seavey's on.
over the top. He's got it on the wing, and an absolute paddock to work in. Hanson's peeled off his man, they had the loose man at 50. Callaway just caught in the middle. Damned if he didn't, damned if he didn't. 55 from home. Goes towards the top of the square. Again, this time it's Tuck coming back. Here's the dangerous Matera. Gets around a couple. Bends it back. Didn't get good purchase on the football. And the Tigers a chance to clear. Tuck to Simmons. Now Callaway. They've got a man in open space on the southern side. It's Bowden. He looks up, brings it inboard. It was a beautifully weighted kick. It's opened up for Graham. He can attack the top of the square. Hilton just labouring a little bit at the moment. Glass has got him for pace. Hilton did well, kept going. Took it to the line and will have a throw in. 35 metres out from the Richmond goal. Good endeavour from the Tigers in the last 10 minutes.
I'll tell you what, Hilton's got hold of Glass here and he has gone down, and this is going to hurt because he is just slung down, and that's hard outside that boundary line.
Tough as nails, Darren Glass, straight back to his feet. And just under 4 minutes remaining. The Tigers working their way back into this contest. Simmons got the tap. Missed the body of Tuck. He's been prominent early. Shane Tuck, 10 possessions for him. Kerr. Simmons wrapped up by Seavey. Tries to carry him forward in the tackle. Can't do so. We'll have a bounce. 60 metres out from the Richmond goal. The Tigers pressing.
Eagles by 11 points. Staker on the boundary line, ready to come back on. It's a ball up about 60 metres from the Tigers' goal. Bottom of the pack is Campbell. Somehow shovels the ball out. Finds Simmons, high ball. It was a throw.
Just a sneaky one.
Super free kick will go to
Super 12s don't play at the MCG.
Closed very quickly that time. Delidio, young man's a good player, picked up by Butler. Good vision, finds Kerr, always dangerous, can find space. He's on centre wing. Daniel Kerr, the centre half forward, is looking for the big unit down there. And coming out is the small one. The little unit. The little unit has got it. Mighty Mouse himself, Phil Matera.
It's been a difficult season for Phil Matera, coming through a very limited pre-season, a lot of injuries, and probably some of the worst form that he's seen in his career. He's a dangerous little man. He doesn't need much to make him.
Just lift his confidence. That's a good kick. Straight through the centre.
Well, Phil Matera's 6 possessions so far. That's probably more than he's had in the last 3 or 4 games he's been on the park. He does love playing against Richmond. He does enjoy the MCG.
He's only averaged 8 possessions a game in his 8 games this season. His all-time best is 22 against the Bulldogs back in round 21 of 97. So Willow is on world record pace at the moment. Matera on the board. The Eagles have 5. Margin back out to 17 points. Important goal in the shadows of quarter time for West Coast. They get a steadier against the run of play. Seavey in the ruck. Simmons came over the top. Picked off by Fletcher. Goes out towards Cousins, who's in fantastic form at the moment. 6 touch for him. Squares it up towards 50. Seavey just floated forward to the contest and took a great grab.
Just look at that centre clearance
from there.
Oh, he's a lovely kick too, but the centre clearance is beautiful from Fletcher. He was stationary when he took that football. Just has an amazing ability to read the ball. And Cousins, as you said, Jason, is just in diamond form.
It's a good finisher. He's kicked 3 straight for the season and 17-8 in his 22-game career. And 55 out. Hasn't got the legs to the top of the square. Big pack of players. Coughlin again read it beautifully off the hands of the pack. Handball to Graham, who's been important since he came on. Coughlin under pressure. Evades Matera. Graham just gets his kick away. And the Tigers kept their heads. It was important. Johnson. Now they've got a loose man in the centre square. It's Simmons. Simmons versus Seavey. It's an interesting contest at the moment. Tivendale. Ordinary kick made life difficult for Richardson. Pettifer came charging out. Kick by his shoulder. They scrap at ground level. Glass in there as well to hold it up. Umpire lingers and calls for it. Umpire Steve McBurney joining Matthew Head and Craig Hendry this afternoon. 45 metres out from the Richmond goal. Simmons down to Cracker. Step to tackle. Slick hands to Johnson. Can he finish? He can! Tigers get one back.
It was great shepherding by Matthew Richardson right on the goal line. Just kept pushing backwards against Glass, who just couldn't get to the ball.
The Rock of Gibraltar. He wasn't going to move. Fantastic work from Richo doing that. Talented kid, this boy.
Good hands.
Cracker just knows anywhere near the goals, always going to be dangerous. Drew Banfield is going to have a long day playing on this little man because he does really excite me.
22 plays, 33 11-point ball game in favour of the Eagles. They've played just on 28.5 minutes into this first term. 5-3 plays, 3-4. And the Tigers, after a shaky start, have got themselves back into the game. Just under 60 seconds left. Coming through hard again is Cracker. Those magic hands, finds Hyde. Goes wide, looking for Tuck. That was a throw. Fletcher. One of the main playmakers for the Eagles. That's a hole in the ball. Just put the ball down. And Bowden will take the free kick. So Staker just looking on in amazement. Can't do that, son. Joel Bowden from the half-back line goes short, looking for Campbell. Marks in front of Chick.
Shane Tuck has just been amazing. His work rate, 11 possessions so far.
Callaway with a big fist away. Chance for Coughlin. Danger man. Side tracks and steps around his opponent that time in Seabius. The siren sounds when a very interesting first term at the MCG. West Coast Eagles top of the ladder. 5-3-33. The Tigers coming back after that horror defeat last week by the Demons and losing Nathan Brown. A bit off balance early, but fought their way back into this game to 3-4-22. So at quarter time, it's the West Coast Eagles. 33 plays 22. They lead by 11 points.
Coming up after the game, stay with Fox Footy Channel for more Saturday Central with Jason Dunstall and Wayne Carey. The boys have more highlights and studio guests and a look ahead to the remaining matches this weekend. Saturday Central, coming up on Fox Footy Channel. The Golden Goals.
Oh, what a goal, Brett Johnson!
The Great Grabs. The best highlights of every game from every round. Sunday night, join host Jim Wilson for The Winners, 7:30 local on Fox Footy Channel.
Star Wars Episode 3 has arrived at Hungry Jack's. Purchase any Hungry Jack's value meal and then for just $2.50, you can take home a Star Wars character tumbler. Choose from Darth Vader Anakin, C-3PO, R2-D2, or General Grievous. Collect all four and join the force at Hungry Jack's now.
If you're looking for the lowest prices, you'll find them at Bunnings Warehouse. Garden spade or fork, just $6.98 each. Ring clip Razorback lantern, a low $8.50. Garden hatchet or block splitter, just $9.99 each. 250mm exhaust fan, only $14.98. Pack of 12 roller covers, just $9.97. 500mm toolbox, only $7.98. 24-hour electric timer switch, just $3.50.
Bunnings Warehouse.
Lowest prices are just the beginning.
Goes to the goal square. Richmond!
Harvey Norman smashes the price on plasma. Get set for our hottest deal on plasma televisions yet. Don't pay $49.99. Not even $39.99. Pay just $29.94. For this sensational LG plasma television, complete with plasma speakers, desktop stand and built-in TV tuner. That's unbelievable Harvey Norman value. Don't wait. Update now to the latest technology with a brand new LG plasma television at a price-smashing $29.94. Stocks won't last at these prices. Hurry into Harvey Norman now.
Go, Harvey Norman, go!
He's coming back. Not too many men will go 57 rounds with the catalog man. He's a man. Sure tests a man's ability to stay true. Dougie McKenna could end it right now. All he has to do is take a sip of that average bourbon. Starlights and dreams. You ever seen anything quite like this?
The AFL Hall of Fame is home to football's elite. It recognises a lifetime of achievement and excellence, both on and off the field.
You've got to inspire me with this last quarter bit.
Who will be elevated to AFL royalty and who will become the next AFL legend? Monday night, all will be revealed. Join Jason Bennett as we profile the 2005 inductees to the AFL Hall of Fame. Monday, exclusive to Fox Footy Channel.
Weeknights on The Fever, Footy's only talkback TV show. We debate all the day's hot topics.
Shut their mouths and call what they see.
Talk to the game's biggest names, and of course, you can have your say.
White Line Fever, weeknight 7:30 Eastern on Fox Footy Channel.
Nobles to talk. Matera off the pack. Cox. Handball to Chick, trying to get around into open space. He does so. Daniel Chick runs to 25 and bangs it home. Well, it was all West Coast at that stage. They booted 4 goals. Came out flying to lead by 25 points at the 15-minute mark before Richmond worked their way back into the game. Striking similarity to 2 weeks ago when Collingwood played West Coast, and the margin at quarter time almost identical. West Coast by 11 points. They're 5-3. Richmond are 4-2. Aaron Edwards, what a quarter to start your AFL career. 8 possessions, 5 marks, while Shane Tuck, as Peter Wilson mentioned, 11 possessions in that opening term, plus 3 clearances as we head down to Glenmanton.
Thanks, Jason. Well, who is Aaron Edwards? Well, I watched him very closely throughout that first quarter, and I can tell you that he is built very solidly. He's a classic tweener. He's neither here nor there in terms of his size, so it makes him a very difficult matchup. He's prepared to lead up at the ball, and more importantly, he has tremendous agility. He can work his way in and out of very tight situations, which could see him draw a lot of free kicks for. Let's hope for Ray Hall and the Richmond Football Club they figure this out moving into the second quarter.
Eagles by 11 points here at the MCG. There's one other game of round 11 action on this afternoon at the Telstra Dome across town. Carlton taking on the Sydney Swans. Replay scheduled on various networks, so if you don't want to know the score, look away now. John Worsfold addressing the troops, and Willow, we kept a close eye when he came down at quarter time. He went across and specifically spoke to his group of forwards, which is something that generally Robert Wiley does.
He certainly did. Look, you just don't see John Worsfold normally huddling and seeing his forward line. But I don't think he was overly happy towards the end of the quarter. They just stopped leading. They were very, very packed back, and they just really talked about it and talked hard. Sitting there talking to Adam Hunter, who has also got the licence from half-back to run up and be the other option. So happy about something. Maybe they're not using Adam Hunter.
Terry Wallace would be a fair bit happier than he would have been about 25 minutes ago. Richmond flat early, I think fair to say, but they worked their way back into the game.
And look, and that was Coughlin and Tuck that helped them come back to the game. They just took their time getting rolling, but once they started, they closed the West Coast boys down, closer game, made turnovers, and had opportunity getting down very quickly into their forward half.
So the Tigers find themselves trailing at quarter time for the 6th time in 7 weeks. The West Coast Eagles, as we know, are a very, very good finishing side, so you can't afford to spot them a big lead.
Cousins again starting in the forward line for West Coast.
As we start the second term at the Melbourne Cricket Ground, it's the Eagles by 11 points. Cox in the ruck. Up against Noble, got the tap. Johnson slapped it forward. Matera pinched it. He's wrapped up by Newman. Ball spills to Coughlin. Kick towards half forward. Comes off the shins of Jones. He gathers it in. Sweeping handball towards Staker. Steps inside the tackle. Little give now to Braun. Back to Staker. Awkward kick off a step. Towards the boundary line. Bowden and Hanson off hands. And we'll have a throw in. 55 out from the West Coast goal.
Very lazy. That one step, one kick. Had plenty of opportunity there to move the football. Either no talk or just a lazy effort.
Mark McCoskey and Daniel Kerr watching on.
Well, Noble and Cox not overly happy with each other.
And contest again just outside 50. Noble came over the top, got the tap. Here's Judd lurking with intent. Chris Judd runs to 35 from the boundary line across the face of goal and misses the lot. Out of bounds on the full. Free kick to Ray Hall.
It's almost impossible to kick him from there, KB.
It is. I thought someone could have just led towards him. He was just waiting for someone. He just wanted to give up a short kick.
Hall. Now to Newman. Tigers with some space to build from half back. Draw Staker. Gives a handball over the top to young Daniel Jackson. Into the game after spending the first quarter on the bench. Hunter. Simmons, boundary. Throw in 75 metres around from the Richmond goal. They trail by 11 points. We've gone a minute and a half in the second term. Thanks for having us at your place, wherever you might be watching around the country. The match of the day, the West Coast Eagles taking on Richmond at the MCG.
Eagles by 11 points. Noble worked his way to the front. Fletcher goes to ground, needs support. Check. He's been handy. Cross half back. Here's Pettifer trying to crash his way through. Same with Tuck. Loose ball. Tough in the clinches. Campbell slides on top of the ball. And we've got a ball up. Let's go down to Glenn Manton.
Very interesting in the clinches there. I was only 10 metres away to watch the players actually handing the ball to each other, rugby style. So a lot of underhanded tactics going on at ground level.
Quick hands, Mans.
Very quick.
Here's Coughlin. Tied up in the tackle that time by Judd. He's got him by one arm. Really a step over toe hold.
Just occurred again, boys. The handoff to a player just 2 metres away to allow them to carry on with the ball.
It's a boundary throw in a good 70 metres around from the Tigers' goal. Cox do the ruck work against Noble. Plenty of pushing and shoving over the top. That time was Campbell. Did well. Finds Coughlin. Kane Johnson took the goal late in that first term. Delidio stands and delivers. Great kick straight to the goal line. It was like a missile. He's missed to the right. First score of the second term of the Tigers. They moved within 10 points.
Louis Banfield with the kick in. Tiger Army just looking to find some voice. They sense their side working their way back into the contest. Here's Jones from half-back. Steps around Pettifer. Goes for a run, gives it off to Staker now. But again, they're just losing direction a little bit. The Eagles not being able to move it as fluently as they did early in the game. A great piece of shepherding off the football. Allows Chick to bomb it long inside 50. Out comes Lynch. Crashes the pack. Creates an opportunity for Fabulous Phil. And he misses. Just. Pulled it across the face of goal.
The Tigers just coming forward, not opportunity. They were just caging. They weren't pressing up, just giving West Coast too much room. They've got to press up onto their opposition.
Newman through Callaway. Now to Daniel Jackson. A 19-year-old from Carey Grammar. Down the line, showed a bit of it to Judd, but Coughlin did well. He's a great player, isn't he, Mark Coughlin? Goes towards half forward. It was a beautiful kick, just dropped a little short. Campbell under some pressure from Jones. Hunter got a hand in there. In fact, it was Braun. Here's Deledio, wrapped up by Staker. Handball into the path of Tivendale. Slick little one went past Johnson. Noble holds it high. Gives it away. Staker picks it off. Now to Fletcher. His ninth touch finds Judd on centre wing. Handball over the top to the run of Selwood. Selwood spears it low towards 50. Getting across is Callaway. And where's the contest? The contact rather. From Quentin Lynch. No one stands the mark. He pokes it down the line and finds the former skipper Wayne Campbell.
Some great tackling by the West Coast Eagles to win that last ball, but the execution wasn't good. Tuck has had a good game. Too much carry on the ball. He's looking for a cracker. Richardson's handball didn't hit a target. Noble ran into a roadblock in the shape of Chick. Here's a chance for Pettifer. Stands 35 metres out. He wobbles the ball forward and through for a behind.
Just seeing a lot of static play at the moment. Just a lot of close in air and then suddenly free running, wheeling inside. They're just very static game of football at the moment, Justin.
Banfield to wide. Selwood comes away with the ball. Jones was involved as well. Just caught in two minds. He's on centre wing. Hanson just playing a couple of metres in front of Callaway marks. Lynch wants it long and high. Gaspar got to make it a contest. Lynch, second grab. He was held at the same time. And the big man has got it. 45 metres out directly in front.
It was the first opportunity that the big unit, Quentin Lynch, has really had to lead out to a football here, but still having to stop and prop. Not exactly what you want from your teammates if you're leading forward.
Spirited 15 goals for the season. The Eagles lead by 10 points. 34 plays, 24. Lynch, usually a very good kick. This time has missed. To the left. So he's not happy.
He really jabbed at it, didn't he? He got seemed to get all out of alignment.
Newman short. Finds Chaffee. So the Tigers just keeping possession. Just caught in two minds, and the Eagles players have picked up very, very quickly. They're going to make it a contest. Gaspar charges at the ball. Pounced on this time by Cousins. The General gets it back to Big Cox, who just sidetracks around Noble, spears the ball in, finds Fletcher.
He really has beautiful skill for a big man. Well, he was definitely looking for Fletcher there on his non-preferred foot. Onto his left. And Fletcher just keeps popping up, moving forward out of the midfield, coming down as a seventh forward.
Well, he's All-Australian last year. The kick's a poor one. There's a chance for Edwards, the high flyer, playing his first game. Callaway, he was happy. In the end it was, to actually take the ball over the line for a behind. One stage there, he thought he'll save the behind, but then, of course, caught in two minds. Just here, he thought, hang on, I've made the wrong decision. Take two.
Very clever play. Picked up 2 stats for that, Willow.
He's just the backman, isn't he? Always putting his body on the line, doing the hard things. Oh, dear.
Newman with a short kick to himself and then hammers the ball wide. Noble's going to be the target. Cox has got to go the big fist. Did it well. Stakers at ground level. Gets support from Braun. Centering kick to Hanson. Seems to be able to find space. Hanson from right on 50. Has Eagles kicked it behind. So they looked pretty sharp at the start of the second quarter, the Eagles, as they did in the first term, but just not getting results on the board.
4 behinds to show for it. Richmond have booted 2 for the term. 8 minutes gone. Margin now 13 points as Johnson gives it off. Newman up the middle with Coughlin. Can Richmond break it open? Got a man over the top. It's Noble. It'll be a give and go. Noble run down. He got the give. He forgot the go. Newman gets it back. Coughlin worked down the chain a bit further. Hunter kept his feet and took the mark at defensive 50. Now out wide to Braun. He's got a couple of men over the top. Nikoski is one. He'll go for a run. Move it inboard. Handball just not quite to the advantage of Braun. He's got some support. Embley. Kick partly run down by Delidio. Good scrapping from the Tides. Got a throw in.
That was terrific play by Delidio to smother that ball. He's a very impressive young player.
And that's how they've got their way back into the game, KB. Is just putting some hard pressure on West Coast and causing some little turnovers.
That's the model, isn't it? Collingwood did it a fortnight ago. Just ferocious. Just mugged them. Here's Nikoski. Impressive youngster. High ball to 50. Richmond have got a 2-on-1. Graham went the fist rather than the mark. Spilt towards Edwards. Did well to extract it from there, but couldn't get an effective handball. Kellaway coughed it up. Coughlin rather. Graham. Newman. In a tight space, but he's got a man inside. It's Tibbendale. Chappie will break through the middle. There's a long lead. There's a good, well-timed lead from Simmons. Turns on the arc. Goes inside 50. Richardson, the target, will beat that contest. To the back. Storming out is Jones in the best West Coast defensive tradition. Hands it off to Braun. Judd's ball to the football. Has a runner outside. Decides to hang on. Assess the options. Embley in the middle. Doesn't excite him either. We'll go long and direct inside 50. Matera out on the lead. Great screen from Lynch on Newman. Level work off the ball from the big unit.
It was a pretty fair kick as well.
Oh, outstanding, KB. Just a positive kick on the positive side for him. There's plenty of room to lead out to. It's the same time they went out to Quinton Lynch the last time. The big unit. He just did that very well.
Realised he wasn't going to get to the drop of the ball. It was to Matera's advantage and just veered across. Trying to get around the Queen Mary for Chris Newman. He had no chance. Matera to convert. Likes it. Claps it home. West Coast. Kick away once again. Will Matera gets his second. Marching back out to 19 points. Good team-oriented football from Quinton Lynch.
And this is for the Phil Matera of old. He just hasn't fumbled, as he has been, KB, during the start of the year. He's been almost embarrassing. He just has a complete reversal of what we've seen so far today as he jumps up to his 8th possession with 2 goals.
For Richmond fans who might be saying, well, surely that's a Shepherd, KB, just talk us through the ruling on exactly what you can and can't do in that situation.
Well, as long as you're making an attempt to go for the ball, you can shield a player, as long as it's not a separate incident in terms of going for the ball. So if a player wants to shield a player and actually go for the ball and hold his ground, it will be okay.
So that was just subtle enough, you think?
Just subtle enough. Cousins from the centre square goes wide. Here's a chance for Edwards.
Oh, the beautiful kick.
This young man from Seaford comes through the Dandenong under-18s. What a debut he's made today for the Eagles. He's had it 9 times. He's taken 5 marks. He's already kicked 1 goal too. Here's a chance. Lynch on the stretch, playing in front. Just caught him out. The kick was a bit of a floater. Lynch was able to read it well off the boot.
He was actually going for home. There's no doubt Aaron was loading up on that. Just came off the side. And there it is. The luck of being in front. Very hard to get around with the units.
That to put the Eagles 25 points up.
Game high advantage for the West Coast Eagles as we head down to Glen Manton.
You notice in the replay, Joel Bowden caught looking over his shoulder. The Richmond defence has been definitely stretched today by the versatility of the Eagles forwards. And a lot of the Richmond players have been caught looking back over their shoulders as balls have been entering the 50, which is a danger sign for any back line.
The West Coast led by 25 points at the 15-minute mark of the opening term. Richmond got back within 10 points. Now it's back out to 25.
This is an amazing matchup, Peter, with young Jackson playing on Phil Matera.
Well, they're just looking for anything to close him down. Terry Wallace was very keen to make sure that Matera wasn't going to be as damaging as he'd been so far.
Jackson 17 centimetres taller, 14 kilograms heavier, but does have good pace.
And he's very quick, and that's what it needs to be to get over top of Phil.
And we've seen success in recent years with taller defenders playing on Phil Matera. Has worked.
Shane Parker from the Dockers has regularly done it and always had good pace.
Sivendale lost the run of it. Here's Braun. West Coast having a moment to the top of the square. Here's Edwards.
And this kid, Mark,
that's a vertical leap. As Serge Miller did say, he can jump this boy.
He said before the game, Ian Miller, of course, he won the Sandover medal and played with Fitzroy, and these days, of course, selected with the West Coast Eagles. When I was asking about the young man, he said, look, we've just put him in the Waffle team to play up in Queensland, but of course, he won't be eligible to play there now. I said, what's his attribute? He said, he can take a big grab.
He's kicked 1 goal, 2 in the opening term. This for his second. Eagles making their move at the MCG. Aaron Edwards has got 2 goals, 2. He's had 11 possessions and 7 marks in his first 43 minutes of senior football. A wonderful story. The boy who's been on the list for 3 years, was delisted at the end of last season, was redrafted, got his chance this week with Beau Waters being put on the long-term injury list with that groin injury. And when you wait 3 years for your chance, you're hungry, you realise you've got to grab it when it bobs up.
No, it's unbelievable. And the West Coast forward structure is just almost flooding their own forward line.
Eagles by 31 points.
Look at that. West Coast have got their whole forward line structure at the moment is inside their forward 50. Fletcher now is the only one going outside the centre half forward. That is one of the most open forward lines I've seen in a long time.
And also I was watching Phil Matera. He was at the bottom of that pack and young Jackson was about 4 metres behind him. So I think Phil Matera can see he's on a very inexperienced young man playing on one of the best small men, All-Australian in Phil Matera. So it'll be a big job for young Jackson. Here's Deledio. He can play across the tuck. He's been handy for the Tigers today from the centre square. Hammers the ball deep and long. Richardson is always going to be a target down there. So's Campbell. Pushed off the ball. Here's a chance for Nikoski. Just takes it over the line.
Well, the Tigers fans aren't too happy with that. It's amazing how 2 players can look at each other and almost look like they should be dancing with the stars. They just hug, wrestle, and there's never a free kick.
Stafford's on for the Tigers as Glass goes wide. Finds Jones to Braun. All of a sudden, the Eagles look a machine. They'll come away from half back. And Selwood finds Hansen.
That's a long lead. Right up on the wing, KB. Long way from home.
He's on centre wing. He does that a lot, doesn't he? Because it does enable players to fill in behind him. Creates a little bit of space. And then they leave that space towards the boundary line and the centre of the ground. And that's where they like to put in that short one. Chance for Simmons. Squeezed up on the boundary line. Kept alive that time by Kane Johnson. Pinched that time by Fletcher. Quick hands. Good defensive play that time. Also by Ray Hall. He read it well. Now it can open up for the Tigers. Taken away by Chaffee, who just bolts away from centre half back into open space. Oh, reading it well. Coming out that time was Hunter playing in front of Stafford. Richardson moved up the ground. Chance for Jones. Nikoski. They'll share the ball around. The playmaker's got it. The champ. Cousins goes wide. Really misses a target. Finds young Sam Butler. And here he is in space. Chris Judd just starting to wind up in this second term. Possession number 8. He's already kicked a goal. Back to Butler. So just sharing the ball around. 8-7-55. The Eagles, they lead by 30 points. The Tigers 3-7-25. Here's Edwards. Here's the target. Thumped away that time. The big fist, that was the consummate defender. That was Ray Hall. Judd swooped on it. To Lacroix. Dragged down. Kerr. He's been on and off the bench a few times. Fresh legs. Squeezes the ball into Hansen. Couldn't quite take it. Tigers defence under a lot of pressure. Deledio rockets the ball wide, finds Newman. Tigers now with some run to tuck. Back to Deledio, the young man. He's quick, beautiful looking kick. Big pack of players. They'll need a crummer. Cracker for the Tigers. Quick kick. Great goal.
Free
now
kick.
The whistle is gone. He's going to play a free kick. The ball is going to come back. Cracker has just put his hands on his head. You can't believe it.
It was just a high shepherd, high arm in a shepherd turnover. Absolutely disaster for the Tigers.
Tiger fans not happy.
Margin stays at 5 goals. Embley receives from Kerr. Down the line to Seavey. Richmond just needing a spark. That could have been it. Nikoski. Gee, it's sting to get one going back the other way. And there's a man in space. It's Hunter at 50.
Continues to run down.
kick.
Yeah, just continues to run down from centre half back all the time. He is the go-to or the switch player. He's big in the air, takes a great mark. Has an awkward-looking kick that normally does carry a fair distance.
This really would hurt. He goes short to Nikoski. Richmond just got to pick up their men. They're standing around there zoning off. They've got to get within arm's reach. Hunter still just lurking around the 50. Stafford now wandering over to him. Nikoski booted 2 goals last week. He's got 3 in his career so far in 18 games. Steve McCooney suggests he hurries it up. Tries to pinch a couple of metres, kicks it high and long. Like contesting the square. Edwards from the side. Over the top of the pack. And on the score.
He took that then, Edwards.
He honestly does look like he's a chance to take mark of the year.
Let's go back and have a look at the free kick from earlier. There's the contest. Cracker will read the crumb. And it was Richardson just dragging Jones down in the marking contest. Tiger fans suitably unimpressed with the umpire rather than Richo, I'd suggest. Tivendale to Jackson out towards the wing. Newman. Chaffee scrapping. It's a 2-on-2 and the Tigers win it. Newman goes inboard. It was an awful kick. Judd. Embley. Inside 50. That's a floater as well. Callaway stands tall. Takes it on the chest.
He read that well. It was a hard ball coming in, floating away.
Chips it over the top. Ray Hall at defensive 50. Richmond need to make a move. They need some momentum between now and half time to go to the break with some belief. Johnson to Simmons. This quarter, West Coast have added 3 unanswered goals. Extend the lead from 11 points. Now to 31. Tuck to 50. Sits up. Chaffee did well. Timed it. He has it 55 metres out. What's he got inside 50? Richo leads short. Now he'll pull back towards the goal square. Ball will head in that direction. There's Richo. Couldn't hang on. Staker did well. Richo getting frustrated. Have just the 3 possessions. As Jones has been everywhere coming out of half back. Great effort from Tuck. He has been outstanding for the Tigers. 16th possession for him coming up. Goes short. Bowden chips it. Neat and tidy to Coughlin. 60 from goal. Coughlin puts it out into space. It was a clever kick. The idea was right. Execution just lacked a little. Hunter to Selwood. West Coast looking comfortable coming off half back. Gains an extra 15 metres. Goes towards Lynch. 1-on-1. Free kick. Richmond going to Gasper. Holding against Lynch in that contest. The Bronx cheers from the Richmond fans. They just need to spark the Tigers.
Again, they just keep on screening off. They just aren't going up against the opposition. I think the Tigers just need to be a little bit more forceful on man-on-man football just to try and get some life out of themselves.
Tivendale to Simmons. They looked flat like they did early in the first quarter. High ball from Simmons. Richmond looking for a contested grab. Punched away from Stafford. At ground level, Tuck wrapped up looking for a target. Got boot to ball quickly. Picked off by Chick. Handball to Selwood. Again, they've got numbers coming out of half back. They can share it around. Butler to Kerr. Through the middle of the ground. Wants to draw Bowden. He wouldn't. Butler. Inside 50. Tumbling kick. Gasper at the front. Couldn't. But at ground level did. Ducked the head and will win a free kick. Advantage paid as Hyde gives it to Simmons. It will now come back. Quinton Lynch protesting that Darren Gasper ducked into that tackle.
Yes, and he did ducking, but the way Quinton made the tackle was a bit crude.
There's no doubt he ducked his head into that tackle. The Eagles by 31 points. Gaspar just wobbles the ball wide to Callaway. This defence has been under extreme pressure. Tivendale just glides onto the ball, just floats across the centre square. Short, finds Bowden. Just over 3 minutes left in this second term. 8-8-56 the Eagles. The Tigers are 3-7-25. They trail by 31 points. Stafford is going to be the target. He's got him in his sights. Oh, what a grab by Judd. Read it well now. Butler's down.
Staker, I think, maybe.
Is it Staker or Butler?
Staker.
Could be Staker. And Judd just coming across. He saw the pass was for Stafford and just made ground. There's Butler. Speak of the devil. So Staker's in the hands of the trainers as Kerr comes along and pinpoints it and finds Hunter. Just slides across the half-forward line. And you're right, Peter, just keeps charging down from half-back. There's Hansen also warming up.
He really has worked very hard on this, KB. His motor, as Adam Hunter's, has really improved because he does carry some ground from the half-back line.
It was a short option from Lynch. Ray Hall's got the job playing on Edwards. Young man in his first game. He's had 11 times. He's taken 7 marks and he's kicked a couple of goals. Here's Edwards playing in front this time. Simmons too big.
They're playing a kick behind the play at the moment. Simmons is the sweeper at the present time.
Some rebound now for the Tigers as Campbell sweeps on it across half-back. He gets the run of Tivendale, who can run with the ball. Backs himself in. Charges to the half-forward line. Tivendale, it's a poor kick. It's a shocking kick. And that man, Hunter, just comes across, takes the easiest of marks, back to Braun. They're on the rebound, the Eagles. They can hurt the Tigers. It's in front of Cox. He just needs a kind bounce. He's just loping to the ball. On the half-forward line. Edwards. Ball. Got a fist to it. And going to ground is Lacroix, and stepping over the line is Ray Hall.
Richmond in the past have been accused of being too Richo conscious, but today they're almost Richo blind. There's been many occasions when he's got glass 3 or 4 steps done like a dinner, but they're not going to.
They seem to be playing very wide at the moment. They're not penetrating the lines as they have in the last few weeks.
Noble to Bowden. Now to Coughlin from defensive 50. Can Richmond pinch one before half-time? Here's Richardson. A little unfair to be jeering him, I think. He's working very hard. He's just not receiving the football. Over the top to Jackson. Wants to move it on quickly. Can chip it short. Had to stand and wait. Did Tivendale. Was crunched by Fletcher and will take a free kick.
That was good play by young Jackson running down the ground.
Tivendale
out of position.
Goes quickly inside 50. Hunter again floating over the top. Chance for Campbell. Just couldn't get an effective disposal. Staker bangs it on the boot. Outside 50. Over the head of Noble. Dean Cox to run onto it. Tough one to gather, but the big man did well. Wheels around. Concedes some ground. And finds Butler. He chips to Fletcher. Time for one more for West Coast. This would really hurt. Here's Selwood. Hall did well. Great effort, Ray Hall. Richmond time for one more if they can go from coast to coast. Simmons, Johnson, Bowden through the middle. Out on the lead. Punched away from Hilton.
Free kick.
Free kick to the Tigers. Advantage paid. Bowden's kick drifts wide, way wide. And it is out of bounds on the full. Opportunity goes begging. That's the roll of the dice when you take the advantage.
And really the opportunity was there. They went down the middle, down the spine here at the MCG for the first time today. Had every opportunity.
That gentleman's going bananas, but that's the rule. Bowden played on. He accepted the advantage. He kicked it out of bounds on the full. Simple as that. The umpire can't bring it back from that point. 31 points the difference at half-time. Richmond fans are frustrated. Maybe directing their anger in the wrong direction at this point in time.
He's a grumpy-looking chap.
The Tigers trail by 31 points. West Coast 8-8-56. Richmond 3-7-25 in that second term. West Coast adding 3 goals, 5. The Tigers just 3 behinds. Frustrating day for Richmond so far. Matera has 2. Edwards has 2 for the West Coast Eagles. Singles to Judd, Kerr, Chick and Lynch. While for Richmond, all their goals in the opening term. Richardson, Johnson, Coughlin. Half-time at the G. West Coast by 31 points.
Coming up after the game, stay with Fox Footy Channel for more Saturday Central with Jason Dunstall and Wayne Carey. The boys have more highlights and studio guests and a look ahead to the remaining matches this weekend. Saturday Central, coming up on Fox Footy Channel. Monday nights on Fox Footy Channel, Gerard Healy, Robert Walls and Mike Sheehan, all leaders in their chosen field and award-winning journalists, discuss the game's key issues with its most influential stars, power brokers and coaches.
Once you get in game situations, I think you're there to win a game of footy.
On the Couch, every Monday, live and exclusive from 8:30 Eastern.
Give yourself an upgrade. With an industry-certified IT qualification from Computer Power, you can upgrade from a job to a career in no time. With over 35 years' experience, Computer Power has trained and placed more graduates in rewarding careers than any other IT training company. Let's make it happen for you. Call 13 27 84 or visit computerpower.edu.au and give yourself a Computer Power upgrade today.
first action utility vehicle. And the first ever V6 4x2 Hilux, delivering 175 kilowatts of power. Get in or get out of the way.
As the ball goes forward. Oh, Delidio from behind. What a mark.
Star Wars Episode 3 has arrived at Hungry Jack's. Purchase any Hungry Jack's value meal and then for just $2.50, you can take home a Star Wars character tumbler. Choose from Darth Vader Anakin, C-3PO, R2-D2, or General Grievous. Collect all four and join the force at Hungry Jack's now.
With an industry-certified IT qualification from Computer Power, you can upgrade from a job to a career in no time. With tailored study options and the security of our job placement program, give yourself a Computer Power upgrade today.
World champion Mikkel Kessler, the knockout king who has never lost.
He's the champion of the world!
Takes on super quick Anthony Mundine in the fight of his life to regain the world title.
If it's hostile, it's hostile. I am the true champion.
Can the speed of Mundine outwit the power of Kessler? Mundine Kessler, live Wednesday, June 8, 7 p.m. See it on Main Event or catch it at your pub or club.
It's bigger than big. It really is amazing.
Wednesday, in another exclusive Fox Footy feature, witness history in the making as we bring you all the prestige and emotion of the 2005 AFL Hall of Fame dinner.
This is a very humbling experience.
Join the game's greatest champions as they welcome the class of 2005 into the AFL's most exclusive club.
It is, for me, the most significant reward or recognition that I've had.
The 2005 AFL Hall of Fame dinner, Wednesday on Fox Footy Channel.
At the MCG, West Coast in control. They lead by 31 points. They led by 11 at quarter time and came out and booted 3 goals 5 for 3 behinds in that second term. Edwards and Matera with 2 goals apiece for West Coast. Shane Tuck, the leading stat getter, with 17 possessions. Coughlin's had 16, Bowden 11. So they're getting good service out of Tuck and Coughlin. 33 possessions between the two of them, Peter Wilson. Yet inside 50s for that first quarter. 36-21 in favour of West Coast. So similar sort of service to the forward lines, but really just the way the ball's been moved off half-back has been the most glaring difference, I think, in the game. Richmond really labouring to get the ball forward, whereas West Coast get it the other way, and the ball movement seems to be much more fluid.
Yeah, Richmond just coming back. They seem to be screening off, very much a basketball style, and just not pressing up and making it hard enough against their opposition. And they're just going very wide. Richmond have been going very good at the MCG. They've been going straight down the spine, but today they just seem to be playing the game very, very wide.
Matthew Richardson, we mentioned it's been a frustrating day for him. He's just had the 4 possessions. Has presented a lot and hasn't been used. I'm not sure whether that's because he's running to the wrong position and according to team rules, whether he hasn't been sided or he's just having one of those unlucky days where his leads aren't being honoured. I'm not sure.
It's hard. I think Richo's work rate has been fine, just hasn't really had the opportunities, and the ball hasn't been delivered to him well, outside of one exception, and we've just seen that.
From Terry Wallace's perspective, the Tigers looked pretty flat the first 15 minutes of the game. In the second half of that first quarter, they actually worked their way back into it, but that intensity and ferocity and pressure fell away in the second quarter, and 8 scoring shots for 3 was the result.
Yeah, you have to probably go back and really think about how much that the Brown injury has really affected the club. As individuals, I mean, they were very, very down and despondent, I guess, last week. And maybe there's a hangover coming from that injury. When your superstar goes down like Brown, maybe it's just affecting the side, but they work back into it. Again, just falling away in the second quarter.
Must try and take a leaf out of the Western Bulldogs book. They lost Luke Darcy. Similar situation. Everyone started to write them off, or that could be the season over. Came out the next week and played fantastic football. Nathan Brown, as good and as creative as he is, and he's got the ability to rotate through the midfield and go forward. It's the ferocity. That's the situation for Richmond. It's the intensity and the pressure and that's what the Tigers need to rediscover.
Yeah, they just haven't been hard. They just need to really be a bit more aggressive in their style of football. As I said, they just seem to be laying off, screening off. It's pretty unattractive. They just need to start hitting some bodies.
One man who is aggressive and is hitting bodies is Shane Tuck. He's had 17 possessions in the first half. We mentioned before the game he was a player to watch. 17 possessions, 3 clearances, 5 inside 50s. Just keeps finding the football. And as I say, when Tuck and Coughlin can have 33 touches in a half, generally for Richmond that means something should be happening, but today it just hasn't been that way.
Yeah, I guess that they are zoning up a little bit from the midfield of West Coast, and they are picking up a lot of football. When you go through the lineup of what the West Coast boys are getting, that shows there is a glaring problem that they're just getting the football by themselves and not probably paying enough attention to their opposition. But you can't knock this boy. His work rate is absolutely fantastic.
Shane Tuck, 17 possessions to lead the game for Richmond at half-time. They trail by 31 points, 88-56 to 37-25. A lot of work to do for the Tigers in this second half. There's one other game of round 11 action on this afternoon. Across town at the Telstra Dome between Carlton and Sydney. Replay scheduled on various networks, so if you don't want to know the score as we go to the break, look away now.
After the game, stay with Fox Footy Channel for more Saturday Central with Jason Dunstall and Wayne Carey. The boys have more highlights and studio guests and a look ahead to the remaining matches this weekend. Saturday Central, coming up on Fox Footy Channel. Over the years, Grumpy Old Men has brought you 43 members of the AFL Hall of Fame. Wednesday, in the most anticipated show of the year, the boys welcome 2 more inductees. A very special Grumpy Old Men, Tuesday on Fox Footy Channel.
It's all good, mate.
Hungry Jacks, where it's at, Hungry Jacks.
The big, juicy burger that started it all. The legendary Whopper.
I like that.
100% flame grilled beef with pickles, ketchup, onion, tomato, lettuce and mayo. Legendary.
Love it at Hungry Jacks. Love it at Hungry Jacks.
The burgers are better at Hungry Jacks.
It's 1990.
The first qualifying round between the Eagles of West Coast and the Magpies of Collingwood.
A goal etched in the memory forever. We give you
Peter Dacos. We're home.
Laying over his head to Dacos. Hemmed in on the boundary. 1990 revisited. Goes a goal. Oh, kicks a goal.
Oh,
no.
Yeah, Dacos. Bang!
If you're looking for the lowest prices, you'll find them at Bunnings Warehouse. Paint roller on a pole, a low $9.98. Polytray wheelbarrow, only $59. Jump-up tabletop heater, a hot $149. Wattle 4-litre ceiling magic paint, just $49.98. 4-pack of 4-outlet power boards, a low $7.98. If you happen to find a cheaper price on a stocked item, we'll beat it by 10%.
Bunnings Warehouse.
Lowest prices are just the beginning.
But it's interesting you're saying that your mood goes up once you start eating.
Lately, every time I eat, I feel 100% better.
Huh. It seems like you're starting to get addicted to it now.
You know me, I'm your friend, your main boy, thick and thin. I'm your pusher man. I'm your pusher man. I'm your pusher man.
Only one game show puts footy couples head-to-head in pursuit of great prizes and inter-club bragging rights.
Well, you won't live that one down.
Wednesday, join host Rebecca Wilson as St Kilda veteran Justin Peckett and Hawthorn's Rob Campbell find out how much they really know about their relationships. AFL Love Match with Rebecca Wilson, Wednesday on Fox Footy Channel.
West Coast by 31 points at half-time, 88.56 to 3:7.25. As we take a look at the match stats, a lot more disposals for West Coast, particularly early in the game. And it's uncontested possessions, Willow. When you look across the board, they've had short kicks 61 to 41. They've had uncontested marks 66 to 49, and loose ball gets 31 to 16. They're finding space, West Coast, and that's giving them the time and space to deliver the football. As we know, their skills are excellent, and that's making life pretty difficult for Richmond.
Yeah, and then the half-back line really does run off, Jason. And I think that's where the midfielders from West Coast do get that opportunity to get out on their own, because the midfielders of Richmond are trying to close these guys down, and it's just how many numbers can you close up?
At one stage during the call, I referred to Brett Jones's run from defence as a traditional West Coast defensive charge, and that was the way they played back in your day with the likes of Worsfold and McKenna and Jakovic. And this back six unit is really, it doesn't necessarily get many of the accolades, but it is really the foundation for West Coast rise up the ladder this season.
It certainly has been. It is an old-fashioned style of footy. They just run off. David Hart was another one, the back pocket rocket, and they are all doing it. Banfield's taking that role. Aaron Edwards, what a fantastic debut so far for this young man. He has jumped up there. We spoke about his vertical leap. He's just getting plenty of the football. What a great start for him.
Phil Matera rediscovered a little bit of spark today, a little bit of cheek, and he's looking dangerous.
Yeah, look, and as we've spoken about so far during the coverage, is he really has struggled. His form, his touch has been off, but there just looks like there's a nice return to it. And Philip, he does become very dangerous when he gets confident.
They've got all the elements in this side, West Coast. The query over them, I guess, is can they sustain it for the full 22 weeks plus finals? And only time will tell that. But certainly, in terms of putting together elements in a premiership team, at the start of the season, everybody was pretty positive. They were up on the Eagles, but I think they've exceeded everyone's expectations, really, at this point.
There'd be no doubt about that, but the midfield is unbelievable. When you talk about a young kid like Selwood coming in and breaking into a started midfield, you've got a guy like Daniel Kerr, who starts on the bench, comes in, hasn't had a huge influence on the game, but still already up to 9 possessions. It's an amazing area. Michael Braun works hard, just continually. They've got plenty of people, so if someone goes down, there's someone to replace them.
Make no mistake, the forward line and the back line have improved. It's still the midfield is still the heart and soul of this side, and that's going to be the challenge. Can they stay fit and healthy and supply the likes of this young man, Aaron Edwards? What a fantastic debut he's had. Opening half of football in AFL. 11 possessions, 7 marks, 4 inside 50s and 2 goals too. Now, you'd be happy with that in your first couple of games of AFL footy. He's done it in a half.
Oh, look, it's an exciting start for him. And look, you can just look at the way and the shape. He does have a nice touch about him. He has been in scintillating form in the West Australian Footy League. And look, it's just a great effort after 3 tough years on breaking through to the side that here he is.
Wonderful opening half of football from Aaron Edwards, and it's nice for John Worsfold to be able to bring in some young players and they have an impact immediately. Well, they're doing well, the West Coast Eagles. They lead by 31 points. Richmond aren't out of this contest by any way, shape or form, but they have got a lot of work to do. And speaking of a lot of work to do, Willow, the Richmond Legends, there's a few of them out there before the game playing in a practice match this afternoon. You're out there amongst it. Tell us a little bit about it. Disco.
Very funny to watch. I mean, this is how embarrassing it can be. Big Mark Lee's had a hip replacement, the General. Beautiful.
Back with more after this.
Coming up after the game, stay with Fox Footy Channel for more Saturday Central with Jason Dunstall and Wayne Carey. The boys have more highlights and studio guests and a look ahead to the remaining matches this weekend. Saturday Central, coming up on Fox Footy Channel.
Weeknights on The Fever, footy's only talkback TV show. We debate all the day's hot topics.
Shut their mouths and call what they see.
Talk to the game's biggest names, and of course, you can have your say.
White Line Fever, weeknights 7:30 Eastern on Fox Footy Channel.
Star Wars Episode 3 has arrived at Hungry Jack's. Purchase any Hungry Jack's value meal, and then for just $2.50, you can take home a Star Wars character tumbler. Choose from Darth Vader Anakin, C-3PO, R2-D2, or General Grievous. Collect all 4 and join the force at Hungry Jack's now.
Foxtel box office this June. The Wives of Stepford have a secret. Nicole Kidman takes on the Stepford Wives. Tom Hanks and Steven Spielberg team up for the incredible true story of The Terminal. The Dance of Love gets Richard Gere into hot water with Jennifer Lopez. Shall we dance? One man will challenge an empire. Jet Li in Hero. Discover the man behind the legend. King Arthur, Director's Cut. The best sound, the best pictures, the best movies. This June on Foxtel Box Office, where movies come first. Experience Foxtel Box Office only on digital.
Harvey Norman smashes the price on plasma. Get set for our hottest deal on plasma televisions yet. Don't pay $49.99, not even $39.99. Pay just $29.94. For the sensational LG plasma television, complete with plasma speakers, desktop stand and built-in TV tuner. That's unbelievable Harvey Norman value. Don't wait. Update now to the latest technology with a brand new LG plasma television at a price-smashing $29.94. Stocks won't last at these prices. Hurry into Harvey Norman now.
Harvey Norman, go!
Last week on The Gospel.
In 2001, Gary Ablett first became eligible for the AFL Hall of Fame. Should he be in?
If Gary Ablett's come out and said, I don't want to be in the Hall of Fame, why put him in the Hall of Fame?
Doesn't make a difference.
Will he be turning up?
No. How did you get him drawn out all the time? Because I'm a nice bloke.
That's The Gospel, Friday on Fox Footy Channel.
Well, you can talk about statistics all you like in terms of football, but one glaring difference between the two teams today, being the West Coast Eagles and the Richmond Tigers, has been their on-field talk. The West Coast Eagles very vocal to this point. Three gentlemen who'll be very vocal in this second half. I'll throw them now. Jason Bennett.
Oh, seamless, Glenn Manton. Third quarters for West Coast. They're 9-1 this season, and the one they lost was against St Kilda in round 8. It was by 1 point. So they do come to play after half-time, so Richmond need to have that intensity they showed in the second half of the opening term. They need to replicate that and get back into this contest, because 5 goals can become 7, 8, 9 goals in a hurry.
Well, and West Coast did that last week, Jason and Kevin. I can tell you I've never seen a slaughtering like that in a long time. I mean, Port fought back very gallantly in the second quarter, but the West Coast boys just kicked away, and the last half was a rout.
Message from Terry Wallace at half-time, KB. What do you think?
I think put some pressure on the West Coast Eagles. We did see in that first quarter, after the Eagles got away to a fly, that the Tigers then started to put some pressure on the Eagles and caused a few turnovers and got themselves back into the game. But being goals in that second term, they really did struggle up forward, and of course the midfield started to get on top as well.
Made some changes. Mark Graham's come down to centre half forward, and he'll be lining up on Adam Hunter.
Richmond going a bit shorter with Simmons and Stafford both on the bench as we start the third term. The Tigers with all the work in front of them. Need a good start, but Cousins runs onto the football for West Coast. Spears towards Hansen. That's his game, Ashley Hansen. Out hard on the lead, a couple of steps in front of his man. Very difficult to stop. Chips over the top. We've spoken about Chris Judd floating forward, and he's got it here. And this would be the ideal start for John Worsfold and the Eagles.
Been quiet, Juddy, last couple of weeks, and of course after the suspension, he's just really getting the touch of this ground at the moment. He loves this ground. It just gives him the opportunity with his pace to find space. It's going to be very hard to close him down.
He made his debut on this ground against Collingwood back in round 2 of 2002. It was an electrifying start, and his career certainly hasn't tapered at any stage since. Game 78 this afternoon. Chris Judd, the Brownlow medalist, just across the face of goal for a minor score. No secret formula. I know it's easier said than done, but it's just about pressure. It's about harassment. It's about challenging West Coast at every opportunity and forcing a scrap, not providing easy ball. That's the way the Pies did it, and it worked.
Yeah, they just need to really get some body on. They need some contact here. They've got to make a physical contest, and physical contest is just looking for the body contact. They've got to go and find it.
It's tough. It's hard running. It really does take a lot of energy out of it, but it's the only way they're going to get back into the game. A 2-on-1 contest here in favour of the Eagles. The ball finds the boundary line. 32 points the margin. It's the highest it's been in this game. There's CB and Daniel Kerr starting the third term on the bench alongside Butler and Lacroix.
I'm just looking at the Richmond forward line at the moment, KB. You've got Delelio and Cracker standing in the way of each other. They should just be moving it out and giving open spaces here. I think they're just not standing, or their starting positions in their forward half is pretty ordinary.
Cox took it out of the ruck. Johnson couldn't have clean hands. Chance now for Newman, tries to crash through. Here's Judd. Stripped of it. Coughlin put the body in, did well. Well played, Mark Coughlin. Just run down at the end and penalised. That is tough justice.
Well, it's just got a hand on Embley. It's all he has.
He made the play, but unfortunately just couldn't get boot to ball. Staker steps inside, Tuck. West Coast building again. Inside 50, Hanson floats back with the flight. Hall over the top. Richmond have to hold. Jackson, handball over the top. Into the path of Callaway. Under pressure from Selwood. Goes back now to Gasper. Twisting and turning, evades one opponent. Gets around two, will be run down. Just got the handball away.
Yeah, the whistle's gone. Now they've paid advantage. And Tuck from inside that centre circle. Penetrating kick. Richardson's always going to be the target. Was held up that time by Glass. His check closing very, very quickly. Richardson will be upset. He was held by Glass in the contest. And through for a behind. There it is, straight away, just wheeled around and said, what about the free kick?
Yeah, the frustration just continues to grow.
Banfield short, finds Glass, tucked away in the back pocket. 8-9-57. They lead by 31 points, the Eagles. The Tigers 3-8-26. Glass kicks a high ball. He's looking for Embley. It was a dangerous kick. And Graham just floated across in front. The hand pass was a shocker. Staker made it a contest. Hands and knees, Newman. Staker, take two. Goes wide, trying to make ground as Nikoski does well on the stretch. Squeezed up on the boundary line. He was looking for Fletcher out in front as Cousins just couldn't quite take it. Those magic hands. A rare mistake. Chance for Johnson. Kane Johnson, the skipper, comes away from half back, kicks the space. It's on the Tiger side. They need clean hands. Here's Cousins pulled off the ball without it. There's no free kick. Gaspar bounces to his feet, wobbles the ball forward, looking for Deledio. Chick is physical. He'll make it a contest. So's Cousins. Wraps Deledio up. Loose ball. Chick streams away from centre wing in front. Here's a chance to Danger Man. Matera. He's built a couple of goals. He's got young Jackson on him. Chance now for Gaspar. Desperate play by Gaspar. Wraps him up in the tackle. Wants a free kick. But forced over the line. And we've got a boundary throw in. Richmond fans wanting the free kick. Matera wanting a free kick. Being pulled off the ball. Gaspar is suggesting there was no attempt to get rid of the ball. It's a boundary throw in just 40 metres around from goal. Chance for Selwood. Johnson did well, made it a contest. And the free kick is going to Selwood for a push.
Well, we have to look at the replay for that. Very hard to pick a free kick out of that. This young man hasn't kicked a goal this season. You can see there, just caught high around the head and dragged down as his body was going forward. That is soft as margarine in the sun.
Yet to kick a goal this year. Selwood will stand right on 50. Unloads, going right to the line, dropping short, in fact, in the end. Noble nearly got a fist foot through for a minor score.
Yes, well, I'm not too sure how you... I know KB's on the rules committee, but I must admit sometimes it's very hard to sort of just see where that was a real push in the back.
Won't blame Kevin for that one.
Not so much a push in the back, he gave it high around the neck.
Noble, split to Cousins. High ball inside 50, Judd lurking, floats across the front, couldn't quite bring it down. Bowden acquiring some urgency, turned back into trouble. Handball to Chaffee. Into open space. Hyde under pressure. Nikoski attacks it. Takes it to the line. Throw in.
You can just see in that one contest there, Hyde going in, not with full... It didn't look like he's going 100 mile an hour towards the ball. Nikoski coming in, he wanted the football, and that's the difference between the two sides at the moment. Their level of intensity, Richmond just way down.
Clearance is also 17-8 in favour of West Coast. They're getting first hands on the football. This time Nikoski to Selwood. Now to Wembley. In the pocket, a chance for Dean Cox. Socket out of his hands by Callaway. Little give inboard. A lot of possession, but much of it meaningless for the Tigers at the moment. Here's Braun. High ball. Got some space inside 50. Staker went back, couldn't hang on. Has got Hanson. The handball was just a touch fierce. Bowden under pressure. Staker weaves way through traffic, gets boot to ball. Kick goes wide. Pitches, well, just outside the line, said the boundary umpire, and we'll have a free kick to the Tigers.
Been pretty handy today, Staker. It's really probably enough of the football that it really, I think, almost his best game for West Coast. He's really starting to come along.
He's up to 15 touches. And it was an ordinary one. Staker's best, incidentally, 20 in his career. So you're right. Well, at the moment he's on career best pace as Noble throws it wide to Johnson. Can the Tigers manufacture some excitement and belief from here? Johnson goes to Richardson. The big man gets across. Couldn't quite hang on to get a free kick. Got one over the shoulder. And that's the Tiger Army reaction. It's the chopping of the arm rule, which has come into play in 2005. And Matthew Richardson a chance to go back and kick his second goal and try to get the motor running for Richmond.
It was his third lead, just to just receive that football. So he's working hard.
Tigers haven't kicked a goal since the 28-minute mark of the first term. Richardson bends it back. He's got his second. Then the Tigers lift. 2 goals to Richo. And Richmond fans will be hoping, Peter, that the frustration and the anger he's been feeling, he can channel that into some positive energy and get on a roll. He looks to be the man that can kick 5 or 6 goals and get him back into this game.
Yeah, and look, the first time we've seen, or probably the second time we've seen Richo having a good run at the football. And he's got a height advantage on glass at the same time. He's just got to get his hands to the football, and with a new rule, he's half a chance to get the ball every time.
Well, the positive for the Tigers is that the West Coast Eagles have had a lot of the ball, but they haven't really converted. Tigers are within 26 points. Noble in the ruck. James Cox taken away by Kerr. Started this third term on the bench. Chance for Chick, driven to the ground that time by Tuck. And he'll take the free kick. He played for it. He did it well. The Eagles are not really hurting the Tigers on the scoreboard. Check from half back. Kicks a high ball. Hanson. He's got him in his sights. Good grab. Emerging talent. Emerging player for the Eagles. Hanson. So he backtracks. Retreats. It's a shocking kick. It can open up for the Tigers because Pettifer just pounced on it. Hammers the ball long. Here's a chance for Campbell. He went to ground. Got to his feet. Cracker has jumped on it. And Cracker bangs it home. Let's go down to Glenn Manton.
Very interesting to watch Kane Pettifer there. It looked like an ineffective kick into the forward 50, but he looked up, he realised that Richo was out of position and he needed to find at least the target. Ball spills, Cracker pounces, goal.
Tigers get back-to-back goals for just the second time this afternoon. Margin back to 20 points. Atmosphere around the ground just changing in Richmond's favour at the moment as the Tiger Army start to find some voice. Richmond close within 20 points. Andrew Cracker gets his first.
Now you can feel the intensity just starting to lift from Richmond.
Discernible change in atmosphere around the ground. Kerr did well. The handball into open space. Richmond starting to get hands on the football. They're starting to find an appetite. Tivendale out wide. A 2-on-2 contest and the boundary line will win. 8-10 to 5-8. 10.5 gone in the third term. Thanks for having us at your place. Right around Australia on Saturday afternoon football. Lights are on at the G. This game just starting to build. Noble got the tap. Tuck links with Noble. Now Tivendale. Richmond starting to get first hands on the football. Johnson inside 50. Richardson went to ground or just lost his footing at the crucial stage. Great play from Cracker. Keeps it alive. Glass. Cracker again at third effort. Tries to farm it out. Kerr did well. Great scrap from both teams. Eventually Glass does clear. Look out. Great tackle. Super tackle from Callaway on Braun. Richmond are lifting. Coughlin. Free kick Tigers. It's going to Richardson.
Mikoski should have put the shepherd for Braun.
What a tackle.
Just ordinary from Mikoski there. and then backs it up with an ordinary tackle on Richardson, gives away the free kick. 2 mistakes.
This is the passion Richmond have been looking for this afternoon. They have looked really flat at times. Richo, if he could just go back off the mark, thump it long and put it through, he'll blow the roof off the southern stand. Does the team thing, goes to the pocket, off the hands of the contest, punched away from Pettifer by Chick, and we'll have a throw in.
Ordinary kick on goal there, really.
Arm just over the shoulder from Nikoski. What a tackle from Callaway.
Booming kick, KB. Why would he have a go from there?
And it would have been team lifting stuff. They've just kicked 2 goals. Richo outside 50. That would have been a magnificent team lifting kick. But instead he went into the pocket.
Here's Braun. The moment's lost for the Tigers. Back to the wing. They're lifting. No doubt about it. Deledio wrapped up by Judd. Newman down the line. Inboard. Tivendale to run onto it. Free kick in the back. Richmond. Tide starting to turn. Can the Tigers convert? Kevin Bartlett mentioned moments ago West Coast have had a lot of the football but haven't banged it on the scoreboard. Mark Coughlin has it. Here's Richardson. He leads to 50. Kick goes in his direction. He's got it! 40 metres out. 2 metres inside the boundary line. This would also be a team lifter. His kicking has been erratic at times. He's booted 2-1 this afternoon for 30 goals, 23. And this one to bring the Tigers within 14 points. As we tick over 13 minutes, he plays on, runs around, improves the angle, goes for home and drills it! Great kick from Richo. Here come the Tigers.
Well, he's got 3 goals. Yes, this man really has the ability to turn a game of football. He's either going to win it or lose it for a side. And when he gets his tail up, Hunter here just caught out on his heels, not concentrating. Richo gets the break.
And in fact, and kicked his 3rd goal. Tigers drag it back to a 14-point ball game. 8-10 the West Coast Eagles. The Tigers are 6-8. 44, 58 plays, 44. The Tigers have gone up a cog. You can feel the intensity of the Richmond machine. Here's Johnson. Burst out of the centre square. Here's a chance in front. He's got it. Pettifer playing in front. And Johnson was desperate out of that centre square. They were going up there congratulating the skipper because it was a big centre clearance. Just worked his way out then Kane Johnson. And here's Pettifer.
Third man in Jones. Third man in line. They've just structured this way now. He came from behind Richardson. Out of the square.
Tigers goalless in that second term. That is straight through the heart of the Eagles. Tigers are within 8 points.
At the start of this quarter, West Coast Eagles had plenty of the football and just could not penetrate the goals. They weren't getting a goal. There was no scoreboard pressure. And now Richmond, 3 goals in a row, straight back in the crack.
They look potent up forward for the first time this afternoon. We questioned their lack of use of Richardson in the first half. They've rectified that in the 3rd term. And that brings the likes of Cracker and Pettifer into it. Richmond have come out and booted 4 goals, 1. West Coast 2 behinds, and it's 8-point the margin. Match of the day, Saturday afternoon footy at the G. We've got another cracker. Judd through traffic. Chance for Braun. Can the Eagles respond? They've done it all year. Pushes it wide to Selwood running hard. Couldn't take the mark. That's the inferred pressure they're under at the moment. Down the line to Hanson. Selwood gets it back. Handball backward to Braun. Kick inside 50. Richmond with numbers again. Great effort from Callaway. Was desperate, but it's spilled to Cousins. Here's Judd. Handball over the top to Matera. If the little man can gather, he can goal. And he misses. It's the run of the Tigers at the moment. Matera with 2 goals, 2. Momentum is shifted. The margin 9 points. Players on both sides toey to get back into the action. This game is developing beautifully. Newman with the kick in. Goes short to the pocket. Callaway has been inspiring in this 3rd term. Back to Newman. Richmond have found the hunger, found the passion and found their voice. Gasper off half-back, waits for an option, goes to a contest. Banfield went up, Cracker lurking at ground level, looking to create, somehow extracted it, got it to Graham, inside 50, Pettifer, Richmond's best chance, he's got it! Kane Pettifer to reduce the margin to 3 points.
The utility players of Richmond now just starting to switch on. They're a lot quicker, sharper with their hands, finding targets. Now they're moving the football quick into their forward line. They've gone away from screening. Pressure's now come on man football. Sees Richmond close the gap.
Pettifer gets his second. Richmond on fire at the Gene.
Good stuff by Kane Pettifer. He's booted 2 goals in this quarter. It took 5 goals for Tigers. Eagles goalless so far in this third term. And what a turnaround when you consider that the Tigers couldn't kick a goal in that second quarter. And now all of a sudden they've bounced out and they've kicked 5 against the run of play in the first 10 minutes of this third term when the Eagles were well on top. Well, there's Tyson Stengline, there's Ian Miller on his right.
The movement of Mark Graham into the forward line really worked, taking Adam Hunter out of the game. He's not running off.
Ball goes around the MCG. The Tigers are within 3 points, 56 plays 59. Big Cox stands and delivers, hurries the ball out of the centre square. Hanson charges to the ball. He's got Bowden to beat. The run comes hard. It's Braun. Runs to 50. Unloads to the square. One for the high flyers. One for the Crummers. Material's lurking. Taken away by Gaspar. Finds Newman. Cool under pressure. Just brushes aside his opponent. Chance for Callaway. Stands on the back pocket. Happy to kick the ball along the boundary line for Simmons to just step over the line. Callaway, the All-Australian, in the pass along with Gaspar. Standing tall. West Coast Eagles. That's Terry Wallace there. Just ringing the changes for the Tigers. He likes what he sees. They've booted 5 goals in this third term. Here's Chaffee. Starting to strut his stuff across half-back. Run comes from Bowden. You can feel the intensity for the Tigers. The confidence is high. They've gone up a notch. There's plenty of run in the legs. They charge away. Young Jackson backs himself in. Dumped that time by Hunter. Lands in the arms of Delidio. Young man with fresh legs. Chance for Johnson. He's got McCoskey to beat. He needs support. He gets it by Newman. They've got the numbers, the Tigers. Campbell backtracks, retreats, conceded ground as Newman kicks a high ball. Here's a chance. Delidio! He's going to fly. Couldn't get his hands on it. Tuck at ground level. Rarely makes a mistake. Never fumbles. Chance now for Tivendale. There's a big kick. Runs to 55. Unloads a big bomb. He's missed. He has missed the left. It's been a mighty build-up by the Tigers, and they creep within 2 points.
The forward line of Richmond really starting to work hard. Every time the half-back line starts running off the West Coast, now the forward line of Richmond have gone with them. They've now got a little bit more defensive in their style, working very well for them.
Banfield, the kick in. Suddenly the numbers with Richmond around every contest. Stark contrast to most of the first half. Embley to Cox. Big Dean Cox takes it at left half-back. Edwards out on the long lead. It's honoured. The youngster takes the mark on centre wing. West Coast now looking to get some flow into their ball movement. Edwards plays on, pinches some ground, goes inside 50. Hanson the target, couldn't quite bring it down at ground level. Matera flashed across your screen. He's still there lurking, is Phil. Kerr, been great in this third term to Fletcher. Beautiful hands to Cousins. How's the understanding to Judd? Judd lines it up and misses. Gee, it was slick. 4 of the big names from West Coast in heavy traffic. Judd just could not quite convert.
Again, the pressure of the Tigers really showing there because you've got these guys. They are very good with their hands. Just kept the pressure on. Judd normally kicks a goal. Just enough pressure there to make sure that he misses.
Clearances in the third term, still 9-3 in favour of West Coast. So what you say is right, Willow. They're still getting first hands on the football around the stoppages. It's just the pressure from Richmond is forcing the turnovers. As Hyde did well, looked to be in all sorts of trouble. Got it to Tivendale. He's lifted. Just arches the back. Runs away from Kerr. Goes to Richo! Well, the Tigers trail by 32 points at the 7 21-minute mark of this third term. We're now at the 21-minute mark. Just 14 minutes later, and Matthew Richardson could put Richmond in front. It's been a scintillating 14 minutes of football from Richmond. They've booted 5 goals, and this for the lead. The Roar will tell the story. Richardson kicks and misses. As we head to Glen Manton.
Ashley Hansen off Jason at this stage with some tightness in both legs and in particular his right calf, so it could be a critical loss for the Eagles if he can't return.
Interesting, Hansen's also struggled with groin strains. It's just been very sore a couple of days. Talking about people sore, Darren Glass, I think Richardson now getting on top of him, looks very sore.
Banfield very close to the kick-off line. Chance for the Eagles to run on it if Fletcher can gather. He's got numbers forward. Look out for Ben Cousins. He comes charging through the front edge of the centre square. Can give it to Judd. He may get run down. No, he won't. He'll kick a goal. Great build-up from the Eagles. They hit back. Well, Chris Judd looked to be run down and just found another gear, glided away and finished magnificently.
You can just see when Cousins is going to give off. You just wouldn't normally give it to anyone in that position because Judd could have been taken out by 2 players. He was just unbelievable. Sticks his paw out, puts the foot down and kicks the goal. He is an absolute superstar, this bloke. He is fantastic to watch. What a combination. Cousins to Judd.
Oh, what a game now.
The dynamic duo, Cousins and Judd. It was hard running by both players, both team leaders. They extend that lead to just 8 points. Coughlin weaves his way out of trouble. Delidio, a young gun in a hurry. Long bomb, big kick right to the goal line. Jones getting back.
Oh, strong mark.
Strong eyes on the ball to Embley. Now trying to build for the West Coast Eagles. Embley runs to defensive 50, kicks a high ball back towards centre half forward. Lacroix contested hard. Coughlin just continues to rack up possessions. Loose ball to Delidio, winning a fair bit of the ball as well. Finds Simmons, stands on 55. Troy Simmons is off target, getting back as Richardson, so's Glass. Another timely mark in defence to Jones. To Banfield. Just trying to generate some of that rebound to get the ball quickly into the forward line. Here's a chance now for Staker on a long lead. He's across half back. And getting across that time was Callaway in front of Lynch. He was looking also for Lacroix.
Just screened off beautifully.
But Callaway, along with Gaspar, worked hard. Graham
does that well, KB.
The veteran.
He really does put his body on the line, Callaway, every time.
Graham on centre wing, kicks a high ball. Richardson's always going to be the target. Too big, too tall, and he's too good. Richardson squeezed in between 2 opponents now, kicks a high ball. Here comes Pettifer, pushed out of the contest, that time by Chick. Thumped away. Coming away with the ball is Butler. He finds some space, he's looking for Lacroix.
A good movement from the young bloke. They had nothing going, West Coast. He worked overtime from one side of the ground to the other to present.
To Kerr, just trying to open up the angle. Good defensive play by the Tigers. They hold up Kerr, who now is forced to kick towards centre half forward. It's a low trajectory kick. It was a poor one, in fact. There was no Eagles player there really to contest. And Hyde, happy to run with the ball. He's going to be run down as Bowden, a bit too casual. Good peripheral vision, able to sidetrack and sidestep. Now Hyde, who loves to run with the ball. Richardson again is the target. Glass with some good, strong body work. Gets into the contest. Loose ball for the Tigers. Chance for Cracker. He always looks dangerous. Squeezed up on the boundary line is Kerr. Keeps it alive. Finds Banfield to Braun. Couple of wise heads combined. Riding shotgun that time was Embley. Finds Hunter. He has to wait. He has to wait. He needs players to sprint towards the boundary line. Now he's got an option. It's Fletcher. He's made good ground. And it was good play by Hunter. He just waited and waited. Fletcher, the All-Australian, short to Embley. Trying to build.
Where they're struggling, West Coast, they really just don't have someone from full forward to create a target.
Just 15 metres. There's a good grab by Seaby. Is it going to be paid? No, it's not. Not enough purchase on the ball as Newman comes away for the Tigers. Looking for Cracker. Thumped out of the contest that time. Chance for Chaffee. Runs hard at the ball. Put his body on line. Lacroix has to go hard. Beaten this time by Newman. Man dances on $1. Trips the light. Fantastic. Hammers the ball back towards the boundary line. And the Tigers get the bounce they wanted. It's over the line and there's a toss back in on the half-forward line.
Minute 39 remaining. Let's have a look at that CB mark inside 50. It wasn't paid.
That's the disappointing part. They've got it at the moment, the West Coast. They just don't have a dominant forward taking anything over their head.
Minute and a half remaining. Graham gets some territory for the Tigers and have another throw in. Richmond 31 points down at half-time as we head down to Glen Manton.
Yeah, guys, you've mentioned the Eagles forwards. They just seem very stagnant. They're reluctant to come at the ball. Big Quinton Leach reluctant to cover 20, 30 metres in order to provide a lead.
Can Richmond manufacture one more? It's been a super quarter. Here's Hyde out of the ruck contest, stripped of it. Cousins working overtime as always. Goes down the line to a one-on-one. Richmond have won their share of those in this third term. Johnson stands tall, lays body on body, and Richmond's vigour has been outstanding in the third term. That's ricocheted off for an out of bounds on the full. Play resumes.
He's had a great game, this man, Braun.
Oh, he just keeps working. His work rate, unbelievable.
Players and spectators confused by that, but it ricocheted off. Free kick down the line, and Braun has it for his 20th touch. Goes to Material in the pocket. Important fist in there from Daniel Jackson. And with just over a minute remaining, it's the West Coast Eagles by 8 points.
Well, that highlights the problem when you start kicking a football to Phil Material in that particular instance. No tall timber taking or creating the opportunities that they need.
They're the best clearance side in the competition. Phil Matera runs onto it and kicks a goal. Beautifully worked. Eagles get the buffer. Well, that one will take just a little bit of air out of the Richmond tyres right on three-quarter time. Phil Matera gets his third. These are the two best clearance sides in the competition. West Coast 1, Richmond 2. And that was just beautiful.
Well, I'll tell you what, there's a good lesson there for young Daniel Jackson because he just had a terrific save against Phil Matera when he went for that mark, punched the ball. But Phil Matera is going to be very dangerous at ball-ups and boundary throw-ins. And that's when you've got to be absolutely acute and aware, get between him and the goals.
That's what he set himself quite well, though, KB. He was between him and the goals, but you can't give them 2 or 3 metres when you're playing on a superstar forward.
You've got to be standing right on him because that's when small players are dangerous. Only need a few metres and they can make something out of nothing. Here's Butler all of a sudden from Cousins. The lead is now 14 points. Staker's got it across the centre wing position. Penetrating kick, time clock ticking away. Just 30 seconds left. Seavey, big man, stands tall. And all of a sudden, the Eagles can go in at three-quarter time, 20 points up.
We're just talking about you just haven't had a big man for the West Coast stand up and take a grab. The other end, Richo's been doing his bit. And for the first time really tonight, we're seeing a big man taking it above his head for West Coast.
Seavey has booted 3 goals for the season. Yet to trouble the scorer today as Sweat just drops off his nose. But he bangs it home. They lead by 20 points.
Needed to make the changes, John Worsfold. He did that by bringing Seavey into his forward line. Quinton Lynch hasn't been the answer. Little Phil Matera has been okay. But the second tall timber, which is stretching the Richmond defence, Paul is not tall enough there. And there goes the grab.
The West Coast have responded like good sides do. They had a 32-point lead at the 7-minute mark. It was back to just 2 points at the 22-minute mark. Now 3 goals. Give them a very handy 20-point lead again at three-quarter time. Maybe. Or maybe Simmons could pinch one leg for the Tigers. Not quite. As Richo takes the grab. Too late. Kicks the goal just to prove to himself he could. And at three-quarter time, West Coast saw off the challenge late in that third term. Richmond were magnificent. They booted 5 goals in 15 minutes to storm back into the game. West Coast settled, responded with 3 of their own, and at three-quarter time it's the Eagles 11-12-78. Richmond 8-10-58. The margin 20 points. Have the Tigers got some gas left? We'll find out. Saturday afternoon footy at the MCG.
game, stay with Fox Footy Channel for more Saturday Central with Jason Dunstall and Wayne Carey. The boys have more highlights and studio guests and a look ahead to the remaining matches this weekend. Saturday Central, coming up on Fox Footy Channel. Last week on The Gospel.
In 2001, Gary Ablett first became eligible for the AFL Hall of Fame. Should he be in?
If Gary Ablett's come out and said, I don't want to be in the Hall of Fame, why put him in the Hall of Fame?
Doesn't make a difference.
Will he be turning up?
No. How'd you get him drawn out all the time? Because I'm a nice bloke.
The Gospel, Friday on Fox Footy Channel.
Hungry Jacks, where it's at, Hungry Jacks.
The big, juicy burger that started it all. The legendary Whopper.
I like that.
100% flame grilled beef with pickles, ketchup, onion, tomato, lettuce and mayo. Legendary.
Love it at Hungry Jacks. Love it at Hungry Jacks.
The burgers are better at Hungry Jacks.
Are you up to date with the world of entertainment? Your monthly listings and entertainment guide is all you need to know. This month, smooth criminal George Clooney is talking Italian and Ocean's 12. Deuces are wild and Wimbledon's anyone's game. So how are our Aussie contenders' chances? It's Comedy Code Blue with the hilarious new series Green Wing. We talk to Coldplay's Chris Martin about their eagerly anticipated third album. And dust off your family heirlooms. Antiques Roadshow is coming to Australia. Your monthly entertainment and listings guide. Pass it on.
Oh, brilliant stuff, Rico. On the 50 lines up and kicks a wonderful goal.
He's coming back. Not too many men will go 57 rounds with the catalog man. He's a man. Your test the man's ability to stay true. Dougie McKenna could end it right now. All he has to do is take a sip of that average bourbon. Ancient dream. Ever seen anything quite like this?
Showtime believes that true love means never having to say, who the hell are you?
Don't you remember me a little?
51st Dates on Showtime.
June on Fox Footy Channel, the exclusive Fox Footy features taking you beyond the boundary of the AFL.
My family suffered the consequences.
The Coach's Box on June 15 gets under the guard of the game's great minds.
Is it worth the sacrifices? Probably not.
On June 22, AFL Apprentice follows two young hopefuls' journey from draft camp to senior debut.
It was bigger than any cheer I've heard before.
Then on June 29, the unheralded world of the runner in Getting the Message. Groundbreaking AFL coverage coming soon on Fox Footy Channel, where AFL is exclusive. A week's a long time in footy. Monday, the Ox and the AFL newsmakers.
The thing with Carlton is their list is good.
Tuesday, were the umps right or wrong? Ask Harvey, Shaw and Humphrey Smith.
We're going to appeal, I know that.
Wednesday, Terry Wallace and Insider's Analysis.
I certainly don't have any grudges against him.
Thursday, David Parkin.
We probably condemn them to death.
Friday, it's a free-for-all with Scotty and Airsy. Weeknight, 7:30 Eastern, White Line Fever on Fox Footy Channel, where AFL is everything.
Back into the game. They got to within 2 points. Matthew Richardson with a chance to put them in front at the 22-minute mark. West Coast steadied like a good side, beating the last three of the quarter, and that's what we have at the final change, 11-12 to 8-10. West Coast by 20 points. Richmond still well and truly in this game. They've showed themselves capable of storming back with a bit of hard work and application. The question is going to be, do they have the legs? As we head down to Glenn Manton.
Thank you, Jason. I took particular interest during the three-quarter time break there in Terry Wallace and his approach with his team. He is very, very adamant that they are still in the game, and he believes that they must win around the clearances and then move the ball quickly forward to Richo. Basic stuff, but a formula for success that Richmond must carry out to the letter.
That was the interesting part in that third quarter, Glenn. First hands on the football was 12-5 in favour of West Coast, but Richmond just harassed them into turning the football over, and they need to do that again in this final term.
They just had to find some body pressure, Richmond. They did that. And West Coast crumbled. There came the turnovers.
One other game of round 11 action this afternoon at the Telstra Dome between Carlton and Sydney. Replay scheduled on various networks. So if you don't want to know the score, look away now. Are we set for another grandstand finish? The Eagles lead by 20 points at three-quarter time. This game is delicately poised. They led by 8 points against Collingwood here a fortnight ago, and the Pies came running home over the top of them. First versus fourth, Saturday afternoon football at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. West Coast by 20 points as we start the final term. Noble went and got it. Chaffee ricochets off Hyde. He's still got the run of the football. Chris Hyde shrugs a tackle. Run down by Butler. Great tackle holding the ball. Early stages of this quarter will be important. Cousins, long inside 50. Lynch wrestles. Callaway's been outstanding in the second half. Did well. Mark not paid. Had to get rid of it quickly. Jackson to a 2-on-1. And Judd takes the mark.
He's got them all on here.
Hanson leads short. There's three in a line down the boundary. And he goes to Embley. Embley to the pocket. Matera the target, and he's got it. Just snuck away from Daniel Jackson. Tight angle on the boundary line, about 40 metres out from goal. He's trying to improve the angle. He'll need to come around really about 6 or 7 metres to his left, but he's managed to bluff the umpire beautifully.
Some of the Richmond defenders sitting right back there, just screening off. Again, no body pressure, allowing West Coast to have too much room in the forward half.
Booted three, and that is a magnificent kick. West Coast draw first blood in the final term. A goal in each quarter to Phil Matera. We mentioned his record before the game. He loves playing against Richmond. Coming into today's game, he'd booted 20 goals in his last 5 games, averaging 4 a game, and sure enough, he's bobbed up and kicked 4.
Terry Wallace was very paranoid about Matera playing today. He knew he was the danger man, and he has now unfortunately jumped up for the Tigers as the bogey man once more.
4 goals to Matera, 4 goals too, including a poster in that third term. The Eagles by 26 points. It's Cox and Noble. They came charging in. Here's a chance for Tuck. He's worked very hard for the Tigers. 22 possessions today, and Coughlin from the edge of the centre square goes wide. He's looking for Cracker. He's been a danger man up forward as well. Banfield has had the job on him for most of the day to Braun. It's been one of the stars for the Eagles, and Judd. You just get the feeling, Peter, that Judd's just starting to wind up for a big last term. Instrumental along with, there's a throw from the backhand that time. Embley appealing to the umpire. Didn't see it. Embley with a second effort to Fletcher. Pounced on the ball. Dances on a dollar. Gives it across to Embley. Didn't really hit a target. Chance for Bowden. Pushes Embley out of the contest. Good play by Bowden, and just tumbles the ball back towards the boundary line. And Campbell is happy to juggle the ball over the line for a toss back in. Let's go down to Glenn Manton.
It's been interesting, KB, to watch Joel Bowden today, obviously causing a few headaches for the Richmond selectors or coaching staff, if you will, trying to find his right matchup, finding out whether his zone-off skills can go against the West Coast Eagles' hit-up skills.
Well, he struggled in the first term because they lined him up on young Aaron Edwards, who had 7 or 8 possessions in that first term, including a goal in his first game. He was a problem for the Tigers. Chance now. Pettifer gets the ball across. Deledio. Richardson was the target, was interfered with. Tiger fans wanted a free kick, it wasn't there. Loose ball, chance for Graham. Somehow got the handball away. Looks for Campbell. Struggled to really muster some speed that time. Wayne Campbell taken away by Chet. Now to Judd.
Fantastic.
Goes wide, finds Selwood. Young man. Still making his way in the game. Hall on the stretch, got a hand to it. Trying to crash his way through is Newman. He's had it 18 times. He's been a dual defender as well. Look away handball from Chaffee. Finds Bowden under pressure. Tuck tries to squeeze the kick out. He's looking for Coughlin. Wants a kind bounce. Gets good support also from Noble as Coughlin kicks the ball long. Richardson's in front. That time hugs it to the chest.
It was a brilliant kick from Tuck. He went to kick it halfway through. He spotted Coughlin. Pulled his kick. It was magnificent.
He just squeezed it beautifully. Just saw it. Checked the kick. Well weighted. Just got to play in front, Richardson.
3 goals, 2 he's booted. 2 goals in that third term when the Tigers got within 2 points after trailing by 31 points at half-time. Matthew Richardson is way off target. It's a poor kick. And he puts it through for just a minor score, Glenn Manton.
Interesting to watch Drew Banfield there. Caught in two minds. He's had a very tough day reading the ball in the air, and it could have resulted in a Richmond goal.
Maybe a touch tentative at that one, Richo. Got to take their chances from here on in. Richmond, they trail by 25 points. You get the feeling they can create enough chances if they get on a roll, but they must make the most of every opportunity and even convert a few half chances. Jones from the back pocket, forced to move it on, uncertain of an option. Wants to switch play. Embley working hard off Bowden. They'll run it through centre-half back. Butler. Great hands under pressure. And Hunter has worked hard to the wing. Terrible bounce for him. Opens up for Richmond. Here's Tuck to Bowden. Look out. Little give over the top under pressure. Tivendale ran onto it. He's a beautiful left foot kick. Campbell can go back and steady and kick the goal. He wants to give it off and he's told to play on. Kicks for goal and puts it through. Richmond still breathing at the G.
Well, Peter, I reckon that Hunter should have tried to get to that ball and not allow it to bounce. He could have even smothered it out on the wing, allowed it to bounce, got an ugly bounce, and the Tigers took it away.
Yeah, probably. I think we're being a bit harsh on Hunter. I think the disposal was pretty ordinary, KB. He's been good like this, Hunter, all the time, but the rebound there, the opportunity, the Tigers have been taking their opportunities at every rebound. Interesting.
He was reticent to kick it, wasn't he? He did not want to kick it.
Tigers won't go away. They trail by 19 points, 12-12, 84. The Tigers 9-11-65. Up before acceptances that time was Noble. Chaffee read it well. Tivendale. Confidence is growing. Deledio. Talented young man. This time caught. Good enough to get the handball away to Chaffee. Goes wide. Finds Graham. Some experience around the corner. Looking for Kane Johnson. Needs a good bounce. Fletcher wants to hassle him towards the boundary line. For a boundary throw in. And there's Johnson. Just taking maybe a bit of a dive. Boundary throw in on 50.
Maybe.
Not an Academy Award, maybe a Golden Globe, Peter.
Beautiful.
Cox getting his hands to the ball. To Johnson. Stands outside 50. Dangerous kick here for the Eagles. Banfield wrapped up in the tackle. Some tackles today by Crackle have been superb. So as his interceptions. It was extraordinary in the third term when he had 3 smothers in a row. Plus he kicked a goal. Pettifer on screen as well. Kicked a couple of goals. Here's Kerr ready to come back on into the action. Just inject some fresh legs for the Eagles around the packs. Cousins has had another great game. That's possession number 20. Does it well. Hugs the boundary line for a toss back in.
Just gets better and better. Ben Cousins. The tuck has been fantastic for Richmond, leading the way with 24 positions on the ground. Braun, he really has been great for West Coast on 22. And Coughlin, isn't he, just continuing to work hard.
Third man up for the Tigers. Campbell at ground level. Cracker tries to bust through. Brett Jones gets a fair piece of him. Ball up, Richmond side of the wing. They trail by 19 points, but we saw in the third term 1 goal can become 2, can become 3 quickly. That's what the Tigers will be hoping for here. Get the crowd behind them. Come storming back. Again, third man up. Deledio this time into the path of Tuck. Just keeps working. Tickles it around. He's got to get rid of it. Does to Coughlin. They've both been mighty for Richmond today. Cracker. Campbell. The Tigers starting to win contested ball. Deledio pushed forward. He was the third man up. Ran forward to the contest. Lost his man. And the youngster, the 18-year-old from Ty Abram, a chance to go back and kick the 4th goal of his fledgling 11-game career. He's got class written all over him. Can he handle the pressure? Deledio tries to work it back, hits the post. These are the chances we're talking about, Willow. A miss from Richo and now one from Deledio. They must convert these half opportunities.
And they're working extremely hard trying to get their opportunities because they're just getting body on. Every time the Richmond players have found some body and got some physical contact going with the West Coast boys, they've come up with a football, looking the goods. They've just got to work a little harder on the punches.
The trend in general play is good for Richmond. They just need to put it on the board. Nice kick in, finds Embley. Defensive 45. Braun working hard over the top to provide an option. Gets there inside the line. Can go down the line to Hunter. Ray Hall's got to work back to force a contest. Did just enough. Cleared that combination of players, and Noble at the back would be happy enough to find the line. A massive feed in there. The boundary umpire can't possibly play out of bounds on the full. He's a good probably 55 to 60 metres from that.
They've also given Ben Cousins a breather, and Daniel Kerr's come on for the Eagles.
Throw in inside 50 for West Coast. Can they get one against the run of play? They steadied magnificently late in the third term. Cox got the tap. Dangerous here again. Quick boot to ball to the top of the square. Edwards a chance. Callaway has had a mighty second half, Andrew Callaway. And really, when you stop and think about it, it all started with that crunching tackle from Callaway. Started to turn the tide for the Tigers. They've been great ever since.
I tell you, it's an absolute talent when you can just come off onto the ground so quickly like Kerr. Gets his hands on the football, KB, straight away. That is just absolutely unbelievable.
Jackson comes away from the back pocket. The Tigers trail by 19 points. Good kick by that young man. He's had a big job given to him to play on Phil Matera. Round the corner. Now this bloke can play. Deledio can kick a goal. What a kick! He's a young star. Tigers within 13 points.
Wasn't going to miss two. He's a nugget, isn't he? Deledio. Number 1 draft pick.
Well, he's quick
in under 18.
He's quick. He's bouncy. He can finish. And he's good under pressure.
Great debut. Looks like it's come to an end. He is battling off the ground at the present time. And on comes some tall timber and Seavey.
Aaron Edwards' debut may be over. The youngster's run himself out of gas. What a super first half he had. Speaking of super, Brett Deledio kicked a lovely goal, and he has the potential to be a super player. His dad played one game for Carlton back in 1975. And Brett Deledio making his own name at AFL level now as Tivendale gets it out of the middle. Tigers surging again. You can feel the power surge as Pettifer goes inside 50. Out on the lead to Hilton. Befitting for Rory Hilton to be involved. It's been a courageous fight back. Ruptured his anterior cruciate in round 15 against Essendon last year. Some may have thought his career was over. He hurled his boots off into the construction site in sheer frustration and disgust at the time, possibly wondering whether he'd ever grace this famous turf again. Well, he's back this afternoon and now has the opportunity to bring Richmond back within 7 points.
Just getting better in the middle and clearances. Richmond starting to get on top. Noble has been very good against Cox.
Just his second possession for the day. But it's quality. And the Tigers are back in the hunt. Rory Hilton kicks his first, and you can see what it means for the rest of the Richmond players. Team lifting stuff. The Tigers with their tails up at the MCG on Saturday afternoon football.
And it's interesting the West Coast boys have started to rest some of their people. So we have Cousins on the bench now. Dean Cox has gone up forward. Seavey into the ruck. Will they lose momentum? Will the Richmond boys continue to come? The challenge has now been surely set down.
The Eagles have thrown down the gauntlet and the Tigers have picked it up. They've trailed by 26 points in this last term. They've now dragged it back to just a 7-point ball game. There's Cousins sitting on the boundary. He's just gone off a couple of minutes ago to give Kerr a run. Tigers are just gathering momentum. Chance for Fletcher. Swoops on it. Pounce on the ball. Gives the ball across. Chance for Selwood. Kicks the ball long. Gaspar and Callaway have been dogged in defence. Tough play by Newman has been moved on to Phil Matera. Chance now for Bowden across to Hyde. Looks like he's been shot out of a cannon. Taken away by Johnson. Opens it up. The skipper gives it across to Tuck. The run comes from Tivendale. Great pass. Just couldn't quite get it in his hands that time. Crunch. Bunt. Down goes Richardson. Top one high that time from Banfield. Flex the muscles. Chance for Cogley. They're going to set it up. Bowden plays on. Gives it across. Pettifer has bagged home a goal. He's got three. He's got three and the Tigers are within a point.
Full credit to Matthew Richardson there, Willow. Not only did he make the body contact, but that hand that he got him is the second effort was all important.
And it keeps on saying it. All you've got to do is put your bodies on the line. Richmond have changed their style of play. They suddenly wanted to go out and find some body
There's the contact.
Good hit by
There's the hands. Point the difference at the G. 14.5 gone, final term.
Oh, lucky there. Very lucky to get that through Bowden. But Pettiford's come. He's been playing on Daniel Chick for the majority of the day. Chick's been in great form, but this boy is now just starting to get hold of him.
Roy Simmons in the ruck, head-to-head with Mark Seavey. Plenty of time left. More than 11 minutes of match time remaining this game. Once again building to a crescendo. Simmons got the tap. Tivendale, tuck, pumps it inside 50. Chance for the Tigers. Cracker one grab. Pettifer, boot to ball towards the square. Hilton tracks back, scores a level. Scores are level. Kane Pettifer with 3 goals too. West Coast challenged once again at the home of football.
Shane Tuck, he is just a genius when it comes to centre clearances.
Can the league leaders respond? Deletio floats across and has paid the mark. We mentioned at the start of the show that sport doesn't build character, it reveals it. We're going to learn a bit about these two sides in the last 10.5 minutes. Inside 50, off the hands to Richardson. Here's Coughlin looking for an avenue. Wheels onto the left, goes to the square. Off the hands of the contest. Here's Cracker. They're looking for some magic. Handball. Richardson shoots and goals. The Tigers are in front. Richmond are in front at the MCG. Matthew Richardson has booted 4. They were 32 points down at the 7-minute mark of the third term. They worked their way back to being 2 points down at the 22-minute mark. West Coast responded with 3 goals and the first of the final term to be 26 points down. And Richo puts them in front with 16 minutes gone in the final term.
Tigers in front for the first time in the game. Richardson has booted 4 big ones.
West Coast really got to start putting their key people back in. They need Cox back in the ruck. They need Cousins on the ground.
Twice the Tigers have come back. They came back from 31 points down to get within a couple of points in their third term. Now they've come back from 26 points in this last quarter to hit the front by 6 points. Charging forward now is Judd. Goes short. Finds Butler on the stretch. Runs to 48. It's a tight angle. It's a tight angle. It's a great kick. Scores a level. There has never been a draw between these two sides, Richmond and the West Coast Eagles. It's going to be a shootout, Pete.
It's a tad different, KB. We've got number 1 playing number 4. We go back many years ago. I was playing a game like this. There was only 8,000. But the Tigers have come out in force. The stadium is going off. Cousins back in the middle. He could be the difference.
West Coast show their class once again. A quick response from Sam Butler. 31,704. This game deserves a bigger crowd than that, but they are making plenty of noise. Scores level. 9 3/4 minutes left. Daniel Jackson attacked it for the Tigers. Run down by Nikoski. Great tackle. Good give. Johnson. Bowden fumbled. It could be all important. Fletcher swoops. Links up with Braun. From the 50. Goes for goal. It's right to the line. Dean Cox punched away. It's still there for Matera and rushed through. Great kick from Michael Braun.
The thought was right. The Cox-Hall matchup really gave an opportunity there. The football will come back.
Timely fist from Ray Hall. West Coast edge their noses back in front as we approach the 18.5-minute mark. Saturday afternoon football at the MCG. Thanks for joining us right around the country. It's been worth it, hasn't it? What a game. Bowden, spearing kick. Tuck, we've sung his praises all afternoon, and why not? Johnson up the middle. Tivendale blindsided by Kerr. Gone. Great tackle, Daniel Kerr.
Just going out, Tivendale to his left. Always going to his left, blind to the right side. In came Daniel Kerr. It's a beautiful tackle.
He's injected himself into the game beautifully this afternoon. Kerr goes to Cox, punched away from Bowden. Staker at ground level, steps inside one, gives it to Fletcher. He gets run down. Ball still alive, gone now. Fletcher pinged for holding the ball. The Tiger defence hunting in numbers, and Brett Deledio comes up with a free kick. Wants to switch to the southern side. Couple of options on. Newman receives. Trots to defensive 50, looks up, can go to the middle of the ground. Pass to the mark taken by Simmons. It opens up for him. He loses his footing under pressure. Big ball to be won here for Tuck. Run down by Judd, got boot to ball. At 50, Pettifer, great tackle by Chick. Going nowhere. Umpire said it just slipped over the shoulder. Pettifer's 55 from home. Spears wide to the pocket. Campbell. Well, Wayne Campbell playing game number 286 this afternoon. It's been a stellar career that started all the way back in 1991. In that time, he's booted 166 goals. He's kicked 7-1 for the season, and he can put the Tigers back in front.
Just continues to chip in, Campbell. Now he's a bench player, extending his career, 22 men. On he comes, always making a difference.
Played 68 minutes of 106 today, as you say, Willow. But he has kicked 2 goals, and Richmond lead at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. The seesawing battle continues. Richmond by 5 points as we tick in the time on in the final term.
Chick, Pettifer, been a great battle. The tackle was there.
Oh, it was more jumper than shoulder, wasn't it?
Wasn't too high at all. Lucky one for Pettifer, lucky for Richmond. Campbell, he accepts it and puts it through.
Wayne Campbell has booted 2 goals in his final term. The Tigers lead 14-13, 97 by 5 points. The Eagles 13-14, 92. CB came charging in, so was Coghlan. Chance for Cousins. Somehow with the long handball out. Wanting a kind bounce that time was Staker. Got an ugly one. Staker with a good second effort to Fletcher. Back to Cousins. Always backs up. Wobbles the ball forward. Looking for Cox. Couldn't quite get to the fall of the ball. Chance for big Quentin Lynch. Tried to find that time Judd. Trying to pull his opponent off the ball in Newman. They want a free kick. The Eagles want a free kick. They've got a ball up. 20 metres out from goal.
Well, the umpire really took his whistle to his mouth there. I thought he was going to play the free kick.
Chance for the Eagles. Big Cox doing the ruck work. Beaten that time by Simmons. A lot of bodies on the line. Take 2. Big play for the Eagles. Big play for the Tigers. The Tigers lead by 5 points. Quick snap. Phil Matera has banged it home. He's got 5 big ones. And I said before, Pete, at ball-ups and boundary throw-ins, that's when blokes like Phil Matera are so dangerous. You've got to be right in their pockets.
Newman was his direct opponent. KB was only off a metre. You can't afford
too
that.
Far.
You're dead right. You can't afford that there, Phil Matera. Brilliant there. Everyone appealing, not coming off.
A metre is too much latitude. When a guy like Phil Matera, he can take it and throw it onto his boot in a split second.
Christian Newman will look at that in the replay, and you'll know you have to adjust that.
4th lead change for the quarter. Matera magic puts West Coast back in front. It was a super goal. And what a game of footy. We have been blessed once again. Coghlan gets rid of it quickly under pressure from Matera. Awkward one. Beautifully gathered in with one hand by Banfield to Embley. Pushes it wide. Oh, no, he's hurt himself.
No, that's huge effort.
Hopefully just come up a little bit sore and he's okay.
That was a tough grab. They got to fly there, Braun. Oh, that's got to hurt.
Kicks long down the line. Hunter's got a couple of metres on Johnson. Wants to go short down the line to Staker and does. Staker has it 70 metres from goal on the boundary line. Under 6 minutes remaining, the Eagles by a point. High ball, lock and test, 20 out, Matera works to the front, and Judd's got it!
Now, it's a tough angle, and the Tigers have got to make certain that they station themselves in a position so he can't run around, because it is a pretty tough angle.
No one's there yet. Now the experience of Wayne Campbell. He gets across. Asks the umpire for clarification on where the 5 metres is. Judd. Back on live play now for Judd. Switches and goals! That is absolutely brilliant. Chris Judd kicks his third. Goes with a banana. And he can make the impossible at times look blissfully simple.
Just as sneaky, wasn't it, how he found that football? Just came around behind the back, just that little touch of pace on a positive side of the pack, and there it was. It's a very, very clever player who read that absolutely beautifully. And that's not an easy kick, KB, even for a man like yourself.
No, it was a good kick, but at least they forced him to do the kick side kick rather than just run around and pop it through. I think Chris Judd has shown that he can be such a dangerous player resting up forward. Don't forget he's about 6'2". He's as quick as lightning. Here's a chance for Kerr. It was a lucky kick, lands in the arms of Braun, has had a great game, kicks a high ball inside 50. Hansen takes the front position. Hall does well, gets a big fist away. Tivendale, first to the contest, gets good support from Gaspar, goes wide. Tigers still mounting a challenge. Never say die today for the Tigers. Johnson on the boundary line, squeezes along, finds Jackson. Got plenty of spring in the legs. To Tuck, who's picked up a lot of possessions. This is possession number 29. Hammers the ball deep. Need a high flyer. Richardson goes to ground. Simmons was there as well, and Hunter stands alone. Finds Banfield. Most experienced of all the Eagles players. Goes wide to Kerr. Eagles by 7 points. Just a tad over 4 minutes left. Still plenty of time for the Tigers. Hunter. You can see the Tigers have forced them backwards. He's now on the goal line. So they're backtracking. They're retreating. And they're happy to concede ground to Cox. Still squeezed up in the back pocket.
Just got to press them. Tigers have to come up here on the West Coast players. It needs to be man on man if they want to create the turnover.
Staker. And the hard run comes from Jones. Nearly 4 minutes is a long time to play keepings off, Peter.
I don't think they're doing that on purpose, KB. I think the Richmond boys have just come back zoned off and, of course, allowing them to do that.
It's a high ball, and then Hunter got rid of his opponent, and he's paid the free kick. Umpire Steve McBurney gives it to Callaway, who's been one of the best for the Tigers today. And he stands on centre wing.
3.5 remaining. Can Richmond rise 3 times in one afternoon? Big pack of players to the back of the contest. Coghlan versus Cousins. They have both been fantastic for their respective sides this afternoon. Coghlan with 25 possessions, 6 inside 50s. Cousins with 22 and 7 clearances. Richmond have it in a dangerous position. Need to manufacture something here. Noble looks for a target, gives it up. Cousins run down. Cracker did well. Couldn't get an effective disposal. Kerr got it out to Banfield. Embley down the line in a tight space. Big ball to be won here. And Richmond win it through Tivendale. Wants to switch to the fat side of the ground. Here comes Richardson. Going back with the flight was Jones. Richo keeps it alive. Here's Deledio. Handball inside. Bowden wants the left. Chip short. Important loss of feet there from Deledio. And Glass wins the day. It was a big play. Unfortunate for Brett Deledio. Eagles capitalise through Kerr, but he turns it over. Andrew Callaway's been good since half-time. He's been inspiring. Newman, Johnson, Richmond reload again. Hard run was great from Ray Hall. Turn Hansen around. Hall's got it 55 from home. Wheels onto the left. High kick. It's going towards the forward pocket. Richardson! Slips his man. Richo to go back and kick goal number 5 and make it a point the difference with 2 minutes remaining.
Opportunity really there for Richo. Up against Jones, a smaller man. Glass went out. Couldn't get back quick enough after rebounding the last attack.
Matthew Richardson for goal number 5. Got it! It's a point the difference at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. 2 minutes remaining. It's been a fantastic Richmond pulled them back in the second quarter. West Coast kicked again, and it's been a slugfest in the second half.
Sam Butler-Chung gone for a run. Michael Bourne, absolutely fantastic today. Bourne comes up with 27 possessions for a break. Now, the all-important clearance from the centre. Dean Cox up against Noble.
15-13, 103 the Eagles, 15-14, 104. They lead by a point. Here's a chance. Matera streams out of the centre square, goes wide. Seavey on a lunge, couldn't quite take it. Ray Hall cleans up, gives it across the Bowden. The Tigers trail by a point. They are pressing. There's just a minute and a half left in the game. Goes short, finds Simmons low down. It was a good take. Urged on by the fans. Simmons kicks the ball on. Richardson's the target. Glass was his opponent. Got a fist to the ball. Campbell, an old head. Just couldn't quite get to the fall of the ball. Chance now for Chick. Needs a kind bounce. Closing quickly was Pettifer. Gets it across to Nikoski. The Eagles trying to keep out of trouble. They'll slow it down. Embley's got it. He's on the edge of the centre square. Nikoski wants it wide.
Must man up. They can't zone back the Tigers.
Got to man up. They've got to make it kick to a contest. The Eagles lead by a point. There's never been a draw between these two sides as Nikoski goes short and finds Embley. Time clock ticking away. 36 seconds left in the game. The Tigers have to win the ball. Cousins runs hard and marks in front of Coughlin. Time is going to beat the Tigers. Loose player, Judd. Well within kicking distance.
There's a situation there of just holding the football and waiting for something to come. Ben Cousins did that.
Been brave, the Tigers, today. They have come back from 31 points down. They've come back from 26 points down in this last term. 31 points down in that third term. They're not going to win this game, but it's been a brave effort by the Tigers. The time clock's going to beat them. That poor lady cannot watch. They trail by a point, and Chris Judd goes right to the goal line. It's a 2-point ball game. And it's all over at the G, because there's only 1 second left as Bowden will kick this ball long straight down the centre of the ground as the siren sounds. So 1 point, 2-point ball game to the West Coast Eagles. They have grabbed victory in the dying moments of this game in what was a great contest. They jumped out of the blocks, the Eagles. They had the first 4 goals on the board, and then Pete, the Tigers fought back on 3 occasions.
I tell you what, KB, one of the best games I've seen in a long time here at the MCG. It was a must-win for West Coast. They have to win at this ground. They were fighting a very, very gallant side after losing a superstar to Brown, which could have hurt this side, hurt the club. But that was just a magnificent performance from both sides.
What a magnificent game of football. Saturday afternoon at the MCG. West Coast Eagles coming into the game have lost 13 of their last 17 here at the home of football. They've come up with a win here this afternoon, their first at the Melbourne Cricket Ground since round 6 of 2003, and they earned it. They did it the hard way. They gutsed it out. They were challenged. They responded like good sides do, and in the end they sneaked home with a 2-point win. Chad Fletcher down on boundary line with Glenn Manton.
Chad, tough game to win, but you've got away with the 4 points today.
Yeah, they were rock solid. Richmond, we just came home with a bit more leg power, but they were great on the day.
Do you think it was the leg power, or it was your midfield that got you across the line?
I reckon their midfield was very good today. They were probably on even with us, and I think Juddy fired up in the last quarter and got us through.
And an important day because you lost a very special team member, if you like, or club member during the week in Maury Fredden.
Yeah, Mock has been a great, a great tribute to our club. He's been there through and through, and he cooks us soup every Wednesday night, and we'll miss him dearly.
Special game for Laurie, special game for yourself. Go and enjoy it with the boys.
Thanks, Glenn.
Big week for the West Coast Eagles. And they are home in a 2-point thriller. Matthew Richardson and the Tigers are shattered. They were so gallant today, the boys from Punt Road. They would not lie down. They worked their guts out when all looked lost as the West Coast Eagles come down to their loyal cheer squad and thank them for their support. 31,704, but it was a wonderful atmosphere. Both sides with great support here this afternoon as Richmond trudge off, obviously dejected after a gutsy performance, but to the winners go the spoils, and the Eagles hit the halfway mark of season 2005 with a 10-1 record. Richmond are now 7-4. What a game. Saturday afternoon football at the MCG. West Coast 15-15, 105 have hung on to defeat a gallant Richmond 15-13, 103.